Shields up, Iron Breakers. How's everybody doing today on this fine Friday afternoon? Hopefully you're all doing good, and hopefully we can improve on that with some more Khan's Anvil. How's everybody doing? Y'all doing good? I am not late. Man, dude. Jesus Christ, bro. It's been like what, 2 minutes? Every day. No, I noticed that very few people actually acknowledge when I'm like 5 minutes early. I've noticed that nobody ever notices that. But if I'm like 2 minutes behind, everybody's in here with pitchforks and torches. I see how it is. Hey, RSMH, Victor, Drummer King Rules, Eugenie, Dylan, Lancelot. What's up? Totoman Knight, Trottaman Knight, Nathan Dogson, Seraph. How's everybody doing? Hey, Jojo Mojo, what's up? Tabori, Rami, Indiano. What is happening? You early today? No, I'm not early. Not late either. Dude, I saw a notification. I thought that OBS had exploded again. It's been happening a lot recently for whatever reason. Like we had the live stream that we did of Nightreign had so many disconnects. The very first one that we did was actually freaking crazy. Oh, there's a new trailer. There's a new trailer for this. Interesting. I'll pull that up. I want to watch that. The one-armed resurgent offspring? Oh, this is Code Vein 2. It's like, what? What? Damn, these guys have really embraced making a bunch of different channels. I'm assuming it'd be here. Oh no, this is Japanese. I guess we need Bandai Namco Europe or America? Oh yeah, there it is. This is what I was looking for. Wait, official launch? Yeah, it just launched. We need to check that out. We definitely need to check that out. I hate when YouTube does this. Not YouTube, Edge. Edge does this grouping thing. It's very, very annoying. Can't wait for Monster Hunter Showcase on Monday. Yeah, that's gonna be some fun times. I already told the missus. I was like, listen, Monday, I'm be busy. I need to see this Monster Hunter stuff. So we will definitely. No. We will definitely be streaming that. Ruri's gone from a dwarf to a wizard. A wizard? I'm a wizard, Harry. Give me a minute. This is life. This is life, man. Every time I'm trying to get anything done, it's like, bam, something's been happening over the last couple of days. Hasn't stopped. It is what it is. So we are going to be, there's a lot of stuff to go over today. As a matter of fact, there's a trailer that I haven't put up here that I also want to check out. I mean, I'm assuming there's a trailer for this. I just want to talk about it. Let me see. There should be a trailer for this, right? Yes, there is. There's an announcement trailer and there's a launch trailer because it launched. We'll check it out. I'm curious. Yeah, we should probably check it out. This is gonna be some fun times. Now, I'm upset. I'm Hunter rank 47. My quest line from Eric for Lagiacrus won't start. That's strange. Have you looked up any bugs on this, Bjorn? Because like I don't know of bugs regarding Lagiacrus quest not being able to start. Make sure that you patch your game to the very latest version. Because actually no, I think there was something. I remember seeing like some update to the game where it said we fixed the problem of this thing not working. Do you have a wish list on what you want to see at the Game Awards? Not really. I'll take what is. I mean, listen, my wish list has had like one game in it since kind of like the beginning of time, and that game is never getting made again. So I'm just like, you know. Although I will say, a game that I wasn't expecting got remastered this year, so that was really cool, which was Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is awesome. Alex! Thank you very much for the souls, brother. Tip of the hat. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Did I miss one of your DMs, bro? I'm sorry. It's been crazy lately. It's been crazy. Oh yeah, I see what I missed. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll get back to you, Alex. I'm really sorry, bro. It's just been nightmarishly insane over the last couple of days. So, yeah.
If only I could be so
Whoa.
grossly incandescent.
Is that? Oh no, here we go. Poppy 1986. Thank you very much for becoming grossly incandescent. Tip of the hat. Appreciate support. Thank you. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get back to you today still, for sure. When I'm done to stream, Alex, for sure. I'll tell you all about it. But have you done the Fisher Fellow side quest? Oh, do you? I don't think you have to do the Fisher Fellow side quest to do like Legaagris. At least I hope you don't. That'd be crazy. But yeah, as Rodrigo says, Soul Sacrifice Delta. I'd love to see the Soul Sacrifice franchise come back. Though to be honest, I'm not sure if there's enough people from the original team to actually see the vision of the original game. I feel like they might just do some like unnecessary updates and be like, oh, maybe the story's a little bit too grim. It's like, yes, that's the point. Maybe we need to lighten it up. Maybe add like a side character for some comic relief or something like that. I don't know, dude. I just been seeing a lot of games go down that route. So, yeah. But yeah, that would be the one thing that I would want to see at the Game Awards. That's never going to happen. I'm just happy that at least we got Xenoblade Chronicles X remade. As a matter of fact, guys, I finally caved. I said I was going to do it eventually. I finally caved. I have this. This is mostly because I want to be able to play the Xenoblade games in their best form, because I was excited for Metroid Prime 4, and then I saw the reviews, and now I'm not as excited. So I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know, but it's like the reason I got that is there was a massive discount during Black Friday. There was a massive discount. So that is the version of the console that's supposed to cost like $500. And I got it for $399. And the thing is, with the current trends of RAM in the PC market, I expect the Switch 2 to rise in prices. I expect the prices of the console to rise. I expect this bitch to be like $600 in 2026. Maybe even more. So I was like, well, it's looking really cheap now. Maybe now's the time to pull the trigger on it. We'll see. But yeah, it was a good, I feel like it was a good price considering the original pricing that they have in Portugal, which in Portugal, it's actually more than 500 euros for that version, because that's the one that comes with the code to Mario Kart, which is interesting because that one was actually cheaper than the one that doesn't have Mario Kart. So that's crazy. Micron has announced that they're exiting RAM and SSD markets. I don't know what Micron is, but yeah, it's let's just say that prices are going to go crazy. If you guys were around this hobby, and I say hobby as in like the gaming hobby, the, console gaming, PC gaming, all of that stuff. Consoles weren't really, well, they were affected with shortages during COVID, but like PC gaming, not just during COVID, but COVID and the crypto boom. All those of you that wanted to buy hardware during those days, you guys know the struggle. You guys know that was insane. Like, you're talking a 2060 back then was like 600, 700 euro. A 2060, which is like the garbage of the garbage when it comes to the NVIDIA GPUs. At least at the time it was, I mean, it still is pretty bad. It's a pretty bad GPU. The 2060 was atrocious. But yeah, back then that GPU went to like 600, 700 euro. And I was like, this is friggin' insane. Micron make the RAM chips for allotting for RAM distributors. They're the third biggest manufacturer. Yep. It's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. Kinetic Kyber gaming companies need to take note and start optimizing because the PCs we have now might be the only ones available to most gamers for a while. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's like, that'd be, if I was to say anything to video game developers at this point, is like, y'all better get real good at optimizing because ain't nobody going to be buying hardware over the next couple of years, depending on how long this AI bubble lasts, which is insane. Now, before we get into that, though, because I have a couple of things to talk about that, too. Let's do the Thane shoutouts. Thank you very much to Rubber Duckian 2538, Colin LaShore 6403, Cromag, Fulminus, Dan Pribbernow, and Rotterschief. Thank you all very much for being grossly incandescent as Thanes! You absolute giga chads. Tip of the hat. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Thank you so much. Also, I can see that YouTube has finally updated the names in here as well because we had a discrepancy between the names we had in chat and the names that were in here, which is actually quite sad because everybody wanted to use the screen names that YouTube allowed them to use, and YouTube just took that away from everyone. Never even gave anyone a reason. It's just like, yeah, we're taking that away. We're taking that away. You can't have your proper names anymore. It is what it is. So everybody gets their account name now, which is really, really dumb. But yeah. Hey, Lumpy. They closed Crucial? Jesus Christ. I need my 2020 rig to last me a while. Yep. Yeah. It is, like I was saying, developers need to really, really optimize over the next couple of years. Otherwise, they're not going to be seeing a lot of sales on their games. It's just that simple. People are not going to have powerful enough hardware to be able to play video games. Yeah. Like, I have, my best GPU right now is 7900 XTX. That's what I'm going to be rocking for like the next 3 years, most likely, at the rate things are going, because I am not blowing thousands of dollars on another GPU anytime soon. Okay? It's just not happening. I think that this market is absolutely insane. I think that the manufacturers, not the manufacturers, because manufacturers probably not responded, but the people in charge of like selling this, the people that are just fueling this AI bubble, I think that these people need to be jailed. And to be honest, let me just make one thing clear. Here's what I would like to happen, okay? Because you know what always happens is a lot of these speculative investors and all of these investor types and whatnot always like placing bets on stuff and basically making everybody's lives just a part of their daily casino. All of these people, when they make like the most heinous mistakes in their investments and they just lose billions, trillions, they always end up getting bailed out by the government. Here's what I have to say. When this AI bubble pops, and it will pop, I hope that nobody gets bailed out. That would be, that'd be so good. Seeing people just like burn to a fucking crisp, like, you bet it all on AI and it blew up in your face? Oh no. Oh, I'm so sad. Because you know the worst part is that a lot of people, you know, a lot of us taxpayers, we're going to end up basically paying for the mistakes that these people are making. And while they're making these mistakes, they're making everybody else's lives miserable. It's fantastic. I love it here, okay? I'm here all week. Fantastic. AI at this moment is just a combination of glorified chatbot plus Google 2.0. Unfortunately, no, Linek. Like, let me give you an example that I saw just today. So today, my daughter was doing this theater piece with school. So they usually organize something for Christmas, like some type of celebratory type thing, where they get all the kids together in a stage somewhere and they all like perform something, right? So my daughter's doing this performance and we get invited to go and watch and yada, yada, yada. So we go there because obviously any time that my kids are doing anything in school, I'm going to be there to watch so that they feel like, you know, you're actually there every single time because I think that's important to be there. And so we go there to watch the piece. And as I'm watching the piece, this is not an exaggeration, by the way. Some of you might think that I'm exaggerating. I'm not. The piece was fine. The performances were fine. It was all fantastic. There's some really talented kids out there too, on the stage for sure. The backdrop. So the way that they were doing the backdrops for the theater is like there's a projector. This is not like a theater where they have actual set pieces, physical set pieces. I mean, they had some props and stuff, but the actual backdrop was basically just like a projector, kind of like a cinema, right? So there's a projector screening stuff in there to give them like a backdrop for the stuff that they're doing. Every single backdrop, every single one was AI generated. And I mean every single one. And the funny part is, like, the people that generated the backdrops, they didn't even put in any effort whatsoever. So it's just a small little loop, like a couple of seconds, maybe 10 seconds, 5 seconds, something like that, of video footage. And they didn't even, like, you know, try to fade it in or do some shenanigans so that it looks like it's... No, they're just like, yep, every time the loop plays, just play it again. So there's like just like these super abrupt starts and stops every 5 seconds in the backdrops. And it's just the nastiest AI that you have seen. So to give you guys an idea, we have a very traditional thing here in Portugal, which if you guys Google Portugal, one of the things that you'll find that is very traditional here is the Portuguese tram. Which is one of these. And now I just want you to notice that I very quickly Googled Portuguese tram, and I got all of these authentic images that you could just put as a backdrop for a Portuguese tram. But no, these people actually AI generated video of a Portuguese tram that was literally unrecognizable. Like, the only thing that it had in common with the Portuguese tram was the colors. It had yellow and it had the white. That was it. Everything else to that thing, it looked like an alien vehicle. And I'm just looking at this and I'm like, you can literally just Google the words Portuguese tram and you get like a million images that you can instantly, like, look, you could just use this one. Boom, done. There, right there. Boom. Don't even have to do anything else. Wait, let me show you guys. You don't even have to do anything else. Just boom. The image is right there. You can just use this one. If you don't want the dude's face, blur it. Boom, done. And it's authentic. It's in Portugal. It's actually the real deal. And you could have just had that as the backdrop. But no, they felt the need to have some garbage ass AI animated piece of garbage that looked nothing like the real deal and showed nothing of our culture. And I was like... Man. But the worst part is, right, as I'm watching through this, I notice that nobody cares. Nobody around me even cares. They're just like, oh, this is so nice. Oh, it's so great. Oh, look at the backdrop. Oh, it's a tram. And I'm just like, you need to understand, like, theater is one of the birthing places of art. That's where, you know, movies come from, right? That's the great-great-great-grandfather of movies and films is theater. It is one of the great art forms. And it's all, you know, people are already just using Gen AI for that. Like, how soon do you think that this is just going to straight up be in movies? How many movies are already using it and we haven't even noticed it? Yeah, they just don't even know. It was funny, in one of the AI generated things that they've shown, they were like, in Europe, they celebrate Christmas. And I'm like, Fuck do you mean Europe? Look at that fucked up house. There's no door. There's no windows. It's warped. Look at that person that was, because it's an animated video. Look at that person that was running in the street and then disappeared, phased out of existence. It was just like some of the most egregious. It was the Will Smith eating pasta garbage levels of AI generated video. And I'm just looking at this and I'm just going like, oh my God. Maybe I'm just too old, man. I think maybe I'm just too old, dude. I'm just too old. That's the thing. Because I was just like, bro, this is absolutely insane. They only had money for ChatGPT v1. I don't think it's ChatGPT, isn't it? Like Google VO or whatever, the video generating thing. Hope your son is doing better, Ruri. Well, unfortunately, he's doing way worse, but I don't want to talk about that right now. Way worse. I'm gonna have to go to the school again for another meeting next week. Like, this is 100%. I haven't scheduled it yet, but I know that I have to go there again next week because of problems again. Thank you, Jet. I appreciate that. And just for those of you that are curious, we did do the, whatchamacallit, the EEG. I mean, actually, I'll tell you what, I'll try to see if I can censor her face and I'll show you. Let's see. So this is her in the hospital bed. Well, not hospital. Well, it was a hospital, but this was for the examination. Damn it, I'm trying to see if it would focus properly. It's the stupid ring light in there. She's like hooked up to all types of wires and shit because they're doing the EEG thing. So the EEG thing is something where they put her to sleep. I mean, they don't put her to sleep because you have to do sleep deprivation ahead of time so that she falls asleep naturally while you're there because they can't drug her, otherwise the test's not accurate. So we had to do sleep deprivation the night before, and then we took her there and she slept for 40 minutes, and during those 40 minutes they detected several epileptic events, they're calling those, but they're benign. So these aren't the type of events that are going to harm her. These did not cause convulsions or anything like that. But basically, I'm just assuming that, okay, so if you guys detected this in like a 40-minute nap, just assuming that she's having these like all night long, basically. But now I have to wait 2 weeks for like a report or something to see what's going on. But those apparently aren't necessarily bad, but they hope, because of the fact that they were able to record those happening, that should help with like diagnosis and treatment and whatever we need to do. So, yeah. People are paying for higher electric bills because the AI locations are guzzling up water and electricity. It's so nice. Not only is AI not really helping us advance, is really helping humanity advance in any meaningful way, because it hasn't really helped that much as far as I can see. It's actually just been making things worse. But on top of it, it is actually contributing to the downfall of the communities wherein those data centers are in. That's fantastic. Hey, Victor, welcome back. Damn, School has beef with your boy, sounds like. I know it's... I don't know, man, because it's very hard for me to... Because I don't have any background on, like, psychology or anything like that. So it's just very hard to understand the motivations behind a neurodivergent brain. But whatever. I don't want to bring the mood down. We got a lot of stuff to go over today. Okay, so thank you all for being concerned, but I'm handling it. Don't worry. The only thing that I need you guys to be aware is if I am not as consistent as I usually am, is probably because I'm doing stuff with that. That's all. But don't worry about it. I'll be the first one to say it. Fuck the clankers there. I said it. Nah, bro. I say thank you and please to Chat GPT all the time. All the time. I'm like, thank you and please. Very well mannered. When the AI takes over, they're going to be like, nah, not that one. That one said thank you and please in between prompts, okay? He's a real one. Get the other guys. Okay. When they take over, I'm going to be fine. ChatGPT's going to put in a good word for me, all right? ChatGPT's got my back. I can't wait for now you guys should go like in Battlestar Galactica. It's like, what are you, a sympathizer? Goddamn traitor to your own race. Looking for me trying to be the last one to be killed in the AI apocalypse. Oh, man. What news am I covering first? We're going to look over... we're probably doing Nightreign. Oh, speaking of which, I need to grab that Nightreign video. I was looking for that. Let me grab this real quick. Probably going over Nightreign. Where's my... It was this one. This and then... Let's put it over here. Yeah, this will do it. You think AMD will release a 9080 and a 1990 XT? I think at the current prices of RAM, I don't think you're going to be seeing too many new launches in the GPU market. I could be wrong, but if you do see new GPU launches, they're going to be priced out of most people's range. There's no way that you can price a GPU properly in the current market. I'm never mean to my future AI gods. Yeah, dude. I have to call a lot of doctors at work, and some of them start using AI phone assistants. Whenever I hear the AI talking, I usually insult the AI and hang up. Yep. It's a safe bet to upgrade from my 4060 to a 9070 XT. If you have a good price, because like I hear they're actually at good prices right now, aren't they? Like, what's the current price of a 9070 XT? Let me see on these guys. These guys usually have pretty reasonable. 700 bones for a 16 gig 9070 XT. It's super hard for me to just tell people, oh yeah, you should probably get one of these if you're looking to upgrade. It's super hard because the market is just so volatile. But I'd say this is a pretty reasonable price for a 9070 XT. Like how much this is the equivalent, I think, of like the... It's not the equivalent, but it is somewhat comparable to the 5080, right? And the 5080 is twice. It's twice the price. How much is the 5070? Even a 57... Well, the 5070 is actually cheaper. I don't know how close it is to the 5070 or the 5080. I think it's close to the 5080, but I'm not 100% sure. Steve Carmen, thank you very much for being grossing at this for 22 months. Tip of the hat. Appreciate support. Thank you. One of the benefits of being back on third shift is being able to listen to restreams of Consciousness Live. 9070 XT equals the 5070 Ti. Well, the 5070 Ti is still way more expensive. The 9070 XT is pretty comparable to the one that I have, the 7900 XTX, which is pretty good still. Still going strong for me. Still playing most games at 4K, even though I am using upscaling and frame gen and all that bullshit. But yeah. I wonder what the RAM is like right now. I haven't seen what RAM is looking like in this website. Jesus. Okay, let's just go through components. DDR5 RAM. Jesus! 420 euros for 32 gigs of RAM. That is crazy. That's insane. Dude, there's the 6400 megahertz kit is almost $1,000 for 32 gigs of RAM. That is fucking insane. Modestro, I haven't watched it yet. We're going to be watching it on this stream. I think that the 9070 XT right now is probably... I'm not sponsored by AMD, by the way. Though I fucking should be at this point. Hey, AMD, give me a fucking call. Throw some money my way. How about that? But yeah. I think it's probably a good point to get a 90... although, it was probably better to get it during Black Friday. There were probably some Black Friday deals if you guys were in the market for it, but you guys should have been checking up on that. Not a whole lot I can do about that, but yeah. Watch again, Vita, double down, triple down, quadruple down on AI as people keep getting more pissed off just watching someone blow their other foot off after shotting the first one. Yeah. Fuck are those prices? I pay that price for double the RAM. Exactly, Catnet. Didn't you know the RAM prices are just skyrocketing right now? It's going to be like 2026 is going to be one of those years where buying hardware is going to be kind of like similar to what it was during the big crypto boom. It's another AI boom, and they're just buying it all up. They're lapping it all up and fucking over the little guy once again. I got a 9070 XT, 16 gigs at MSRP. What's MSRP? $600, I think? That's a good deal, Modestro. Good job. Good job, bro. But yeah, that's gonna be our future for 2026. PC gaming is gonna be rough. It's gonna be kind of rough. So get ready for that. Get ready for that rough and tumble. Now, the thing that I wanted to watch, one of the first things we're gonna be checking out today is this. Okay, this is an oldie. Like when did this thing release? Actually, let me just see. I think this was probably like 20 years ago. Guild Wars release date. The original Guild Wars. No, this is Guild Wars 2, brother. We're talking about the original Guild Wars. The original Guild Wars released... Now this... Prophecies? Was it 2025? Was it 2005? Okay, if it's 2005, that means it's exactly 20 years. It was 20 years ago. I was 23 when this game released, and I play the crap out of this game. I'm genuinely surprised that they're remastering this. But apparently, it's even being so successful that they're having to add additional servers because there's a ton of people jumping back into the game, which is pretty cool. Thing is, I would love to see the eye bubble burst, but when it does, we're all going to feel it, not just those companies. That's the worst part, Hates. When it does, we're the only ones that are going to be feeling it because the companies are going to get bailed out by our taxpayer money, because that's always how it goes. Little late, how appropriate for this comment, but everyone that was writing about being 2 minutes late should avoid any nerdrotic love streams at all costs. All right. I played the crap out of this back in the day. Let me see the trailer. Wait, let me pause the music. Evil has returned. Guild Wars factions. The Ritualist. Forge your legend. You've never played Guild Wars like this. New Age of Heroes begins. Great on Steam Deck. New low price. Support for controllers. High DPI displays. Enhanced... What was the thing? Enhanced audio and UI. Rendering refinements. No monthly subscription. It's never had one. Guild Wars Reforged. I'm actually curious, does it include everything? Because this is the Norns. I never did the Norn stuff. I stopped playing at around the one that took place in Africa. I forget which one it was. It was the third expansion. That's when I stopped playing it. Let me actually see, just out of curiosity. Guild Wars Reforged. Incredible stories await in 3 massive parallel campaigns, Prophecies, Factions, and Nightfall. Yeah, Nightfall was when I stopped playing. Wait, so what about the other one? Because there's a final one, which I forget what the name of it was, but it was the one that was in the north. It's the one with this character. Yeah, because I know it's got Prophecies, Factions, Nightfall. What is included? Include the 3 main Guild Wars campaigns, Prophecies, Factions, and Nightfall. Ah, here it is. Other content such as Guild Wars Eye of the North expansion bonus mission pack will remain available as additional purchases. So you have to buy this one separately from Guild Wars Reforged. That was something that I was curious about. But yeah, this was really fun. Africa? Thought it was a fan. It's a fantasy world. I called it Africa because it seems like it's inspired by Africa. You want to blast from plastic? Got the new announcement from Total War yesterday as well. Does it have to do with Dawn of War? Eye of the North is not included. How much does Eye of the North? How much does Eye of the North cost? I wonder. After watching Rada play Prime 4, it doesn't feel so good. Oh no. Poor Ratatosker, man. He's gonna get slammed on again. He gets slammed on by some people in the Monster Hunter community. Now he's gonna get slammed by the Metroid community for being a hater. Feels bad. Let me grab one of my throat things. Give me a second. Passive-aggressive Ratatosker stream is peak entertainment. Was it that bad, HV Prospect? Because I haven't seen anything. I don't know how he feels about it yet. So he hates it, is what you're saying? So let me see. If I go to the Guild Wars store... No, wait. Okay. Guild Wars Reforged is 20 bones. It's so weird that they have the character from Eye of the North. Well, I guess this is just a female warrior. And this is the character from Eye of the North. Eye of the North is 10 bones. So it's $15 to get the rest of it. So the whole thing is $35. $35. You're talking like hundreds of hours. I don't know how many hours I have in Guild Wars. The funny thing is, I still have my characters in the original Guild Wars. The thing is, I don't even know what it does. I'm assuming it's just a visual upgrade. Live the groundbreaking magic of this legendary narrative-driven from its first skill capture to your final piece of elite armor. Every step of Guild Wars Reforged is an unforgettable journey. Stand with mighty heroes to face the Char warband sweeping across Ascalon. Yeah, we used to fight the Char. We used to fight those dogs. Now we're all buddy-buddy with them in Guild Wars 2. We used to fight those bastards. Battle rival gangs in the streets of Kainang City. The factions was really cool. I like the Kainang City stuff. Across the sulphurous wastelands, desolation astride a Jonundu worm. Set events in motion that will shape the centuries to come. Controller support. New quest tracking and direction system. On-screen control guide. UI enhanced with HD skill icons, larger text option, quality of life, support for IDPI displays, new ambient occlusion, HD bloom, and anti-aliasing rendering enhancements, rebuilt audio system with environmental effects, no hardware support needed. That's cool, man. I wish I had more time to play it, because this is a really fun game. I wonder if you have access to the mercenaries from the get-go, or if you still have to go to Nightfall to get mercenaries, because I forget if they've patched that. Because, like, when you got the mercenaries, you could actually customize them, whereas before you had to use these helpers that you couldn't really customize, and they were kind of worthless. You had to work around if you were trying to play solo. Yeah, this was a ton of fun. This was a ton of fun back in the day. I asked him if he would try Wilds DLC, and he said, nope, I'm done with Wilds. Really? I thought he was still going to play the Wilds DLC when it came out. Didn't he say that he was done with Wilds until the expansion launch? I thought he was going to jump back in with the expansion. If you already own the games, it's a free upgrade. Wait, what? Really? Guild Wars Reforge is free. Because I own everything up to Nightfall. The only thing I don't own is... the only thing I don't own is the Eye of the North and the bonus stuff. I've heard that Tom Morello was doing a track for Final Fantasy XIV, yeah. Wild is losing a lot of popularity recently, it seems. To be honest, I loved Monster Hunter long before it was a popular game. The popularity level of Monster Hunter, as much as I want it to be popular, mostly so that, you know, we can keep getting new Monster Hunter games, I'm fine with Monster Hunter not being as popular as it was at its apex during World and Iceborne. I'm fine. Isn't it the opposite as far as getting more Steam? Yeah, because, like, we're getting mixed reviews now as opposed to negative. Yeah, see, it's mixed. It's actually getting better. How's the charts on it, I wonder? It's got 18,000 people playing it, 20,000 24-hour peak. It's not that bad. Rory, didn't you start disliking Monster Hunter? I think not liking it first is a rite of passage. Oh yeah, I hated it. The first game I played was Monster Hunter. I mean, hate is a strong word. Let's say I didn't like it. I wasn't into it. Like, I started playing it and I didn't understand. Because I was used to traditional RPGs where you go through a level and you beat up a couple of small dudes and then you fight the big boss. The concept of you just jumping into a random level and fighting a big boss without fighting any small dudes was just so alien to me. I'm like, well, what do you mean? I have to kill the henchman before I kill the big baddie. That's how it always works. What do you mean I just fight the big baddie? This doesn't make any sense. I didn't understand it. When do you think we'll get more information on Title Update 4? Monday. Monday. Absolutely, Monday. Oh, that's a funny question. I'm sorry, but if a game that provides you with countless hours, not monetizing everything like other games, and it's getting hate while gacha games flourish, people don't deserve it. Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. Haven't played much new content in Wilds on halftime after PoE 2 and now with Where Winds Meet. I'm glad that a lot of people are enjoying Where Winds Meet, even if it wasn't really my cup of tea. I was actually thinking about it the other day. I think I had more fun when I was playing Soulframe than Where Winds Meet. Because Soulframe just feels more about organic exploration. And that was more fun. I was just running around killing dudes. I need to get back to Soulframe. They had like a massive update that I haven't really checked out yet. You're 215 hours into what? Where Winds Meet or Soulframe? Have to be a little bit more specific. Yeah, Fabian Infinite, I probably will check it out. How about the game with the white Android stuff you played some time ago? White Android stuff. You're gonna have to be a little bit more specific. Will you stream the upcoming Monster Hunter Showcase? Absolutely. Wouldn't miss it. I'll be there no matter what. Well, considering my current life circumstances, no matter what is maybe too much of a strong sentiment. Because if anything happens to my kids, I'm actually not going to be there. Let's put it like this. I'll be there no matter what. Unless the what is something that happens to my kids. AI Limit? I never played AI Limit. I never see him play any Metroid game. Fishman, I've played the Metroid Prime 1 and Metroid Prime 2 back to back. This was like back in the day. I played these on the Wii. So I wasn't in the very beginning because these games came out on like Nintendo 64, if I'm not mistaken. But I played them on the Wii. And the funny thing is, I wanted to play 1 and 2 so that then I would get the 3 and I would have like everything to get started with 3. What happened was I played 1, played 2, got to 3, instantly burned out, and never touched it again. Which is funny because I played 1 and 2 in preparation to play 3. 1 was like the best. I loved 1. 2, I was like, oh, this is still cool, still fun. And then I got to 3 and I was bored. So, yeah. I somehow got into Wild Hearts instead. Good. How's Helldivers 2 looking right now? I haven't checked out Helldivers. But anyway, let's check out this this new trailer for Nightreign that we haven't seen yet.
Peggy 16.
This just seems like the same trailer. Yeah, we've seen this one. Why did this get uploaded an hour ago? What the fuck? How did this get uploaded an hour ago? This is so strange. Ah, is this the one? No. Yeah, it's the same one. Oh, this one is cut up in a different way so that it shows stuff from the original game instead of just new things. I understand what this is about. This is about them making a new trailer that includes stuff of the original game rather than just stuff from the DLC so that, you know, if people want to buy the game, they're like, hey, here's all the things that we have in the game right now. Okay, I thought it was going to be something else more interesting, but... Okay, so let's talk about my thoughts about Elden Ring Nightreign DLC Forsaken Hollows. So as you guys might remember, I was actually playing with Cowboy and Ark on release day. Then we played with Ark and Wada yesterday. I plan on playing a whole lot more of this. It's really, really fun. This DLC, I believe the price of this is like $15 or something like that. It was included with the version that I got of the game from Bandai Namco. When we started out, Fight and Cowboy and Ark both went to Undertaker, which is the new Strength Faith build with Hammer. It's really, really powerful. I would say borderline, actually it might be the most OP character in the game. I'm not 100% sure because I still think it's too soon to make that assessment. People are figuring out new builds all the time and all that stuff, and your power also very much depends on the relics that you have available to you. But I would say that baseline, just like baseline, Undertaker has to be one of the most powerful characters from just like my own gut feeling. Because the way that this character works, right? You have your Strength Faith build. You have an ability that lets you move faster and dodge with more iframes, which is really, really good because, as we all know, dodging attacks is the best way of surviving because blocking attacks is risky as hell, especially if you're playing Guardian because, you know, the fact that you are able to block big hits also means that you suck at dodging them. So being able to dodge with increased iframes and all that good stuff is really, really good. But then to top it off, this character also has an ultimate where she just kind of like zooms in, smacks a boss, staggers him, and deals a ton of damage. But then whenever somebody else ults, you get to do that again for free. So whenever somebody ults, you just get like a purple icon on top of your ultimate telling you, hey, you got a free ultimate, and you can just do that. And if you have an ultimate banked and somebody ults, you can do your ult and then immediately do your ult again. It is crazy. Those of you guys that were here for those streams, you will have seen us like chain ultimates back to back to back with friggin' with the ultimate of Undertaker, both with Ark, Cowboy, and Wada. It was absolute insanity. So that character is a ton of fun. I've played it myself. I only played a little bit at the end of the last stream because I've been mostly focusing on Scholar, which is a thinking man's character. See, you know, you have the Undertaker, which is me go bonk hardcore. You know, I have no brain, therefore I must bonk. Then you have the thinking man's character, which is the Scholar that needs to like zoom in and analyze the enemies and give buffs and debuffs. And it's really fun. Scholar is also really fun. As a matter of fact, I got really into Scholar. Like, I think Scholar is a character that I enjoyed way more than I initially predicted. Because you're given buffs, you're given debuffs. Your ultimate also provides healing. It spreads AoE damage. With the relic that I got for it now, which I haven't gotten a lot of specific relics for these characters, so I don't know just how powerful they can actually scale. But the relic that I got for my Scholar is actually something that makes the ultimate deal damage over time. That's also really, really good. So the two new Nightfarers that we got, in my opinion, they're just a ton of fun. I've had a blast playing them. And by the way, gameplay footage that you're watching is going to be very suboptimal because it's literally our first run. Okay, so you're going to see us die. You're going to see us fail. This was the first run. We were learning two new characters and a brand new map, which is an interesting thing that From Software did where they're like, okay, there's a major shifting Earth event. And you just imagine, oh, so it's going to be like Crater or Mountain or Noclateo or whatever, right? Or Scarlet Forest. That's what you're thinking, right? Oh, there's going to be like this thing that happens somewhere in Limveld. That's not what happens. Whenever the Maging Shifting Earth happens, which is the Great Hollows or whatever it's called, the name of this new map, it's straight up a whole new map, and it's a very different map. It is a smaller map, more condensed, with even more verticality than you have in Limveld. Way more verticality. And there's a lot of death drops. Probably a lot of people are going to be very frustrated that there's death drops. There's death drops. There's boss towers, which we actually did one of the boss towers. We didn't complete it, but we did like 2 bosses, I want to say. I don't think we did 3. We might have tried going for 3, or we might have just left after the second one. I forgot. But we did go to the tower. There's like a ton of stuff to explore down there. I haven't explored everything in the map yet, not by a long shot. We were discovering new things just on the last stream still. So that was pretty fun. Unfortunately, you do have to spend the currency that you get from killing Everdark Sovereigns if you want to force this map to spawn. Which in my opinion, I wish there was a better way of doing it. Because I don't want to be forced to like, oh, I feel like doing the new map. It's like, oh, I'm out of currency. I don't think that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be out of currency unless you've been very irresponsible with the currency that you've been using. And by the way, people hear the word currency, they might be thinking, oh, this is like something that I have to buy for real money. No, this is stuff that you get in game just for playing. You can't actually buy, at least as far as I'm aware, you can't actually buy the currency for the Everdark Sovereign stuff, the Sovereign coins, whatever they're called. But yeah, you use that. You can jump into this map. You can start learning the map. There's tons of stuff to figure out here. Some of the remembrances take place here. I had to do a remembrance where I was like inside a tower going through with the scholar to do his remembrance. But so far, for the price that we've had for this DLC, and I've already put like, I think close to 10 hours, if not more than 10 hours into the DLC. Absolute blast. Absolutely worth it. I'm going to be playing it way more. But again, it's going to be worth it if you enjoy playing Nightreign. Because this is basically, it's more Nightreign. It's challenging. It's hard. We've already beaten the 2 new bosses. Only in normal. I don't know if this content can show up in Depth of Night. Because we haven't really done Depth of Night since coming back to do the DLC content. So I don't know if this can show up in Depth of Night. Maybe it can. We'll see. But you know, just playing through the new bosses were really challenging. There's the Balancers, which is the Valkyrie bosses that you've seen, and there's the Dreglord. Balancers I actually think is harder than Dreglord, but you need to have a lot of damage for Dreglord, whereas Balancers is more about managing ads and dealing with the boss and all of that stuff. Dreglord is he's just a beast. He's just gonna hit you hard, hit you fast, big AoEs, lots of rot damage, tons of stuff like that. We actually killed the Dredgelord on our first try. And then the second time I went in there with Ark and Wada, we actually failed. But I think that we were just really juiced up when we went in there with Cowboy, because we had done Noclateo, we had lots of Legos, and we just beast moded that bastard. But yeah, it's challenging. Both bosses are challenging, but that's the way that I personally like it. I enjoy those. So yeah, I like it. I like the new bosses. We also fought Artorias. Artorias got a nice little glow up, really cool. He impaled me right between my 2 ass cheeks. He got me with his sword, and then he like held me up in the air, shook me like a ragdoll, and then yeeted me far away. And Ark and Cowboy got a kick out of that because they were just looking at me being shaken like a ragdoll, like, oh, look at him, he's a little ragdoll. No, I like what they're doing. I'm actually sad because I think they've mentioned that this is probably going to be the last big update to Nightreign, which kind of sucks because I think there's so much potential for Nightreign that is still unrealized. I love what they've done with the game. And I know that for a lot of people, you guys are going to be concerned, but can I solo this content? And it's like, let's put it like this. If you can solo regular Nightreign, you can solo this content. If you weren't able to solo regular Nightreign, you're probably not going to be able to solo this either. I don't play this game for solo. That's just a thing. So that's why, to me, whenever people ask me, oh, don't you solo? No, I don't solo Nightreign because it's a game that was made for co-op. I've always wanted a From Software game that is made for co-op. Why would I now come in here and play it solo? It just seems like counterintuitive. I want to play this game with my friends. That's the way that I look at it, with my friends or even with randoms. I think you can still do this content fine with randoms. It's just not going to be as consistent as if you're playing with friends, obviously. But yeah. Personally, I enjoy it a lot. I think it's a ton of fun. I think if you like Nightreign, I think you're going to absolutely love this. I think that the 2 new Nightfarers are really fun. Particularly Undertaker. I think a lot of people are going to absolutely love Undertaker. I think the Scholar is going to be a much more less picked class. But to me, that's actually kind of like incentivized me to get better with him even more. Because I think that the Scholar can pull off quite a few clutch moves. The way in which you do the analyze thing and you buff yourself, and that acts as a parry if somebody's about to hit you. I think that there's a huge amount of skill that you have to using Scholar appropriately, choosing when the debuff, when the buff, and I think that I haven't even begun to scratch the surface with that. But I also think that Scholar is a character that works mostly for solo, even though he can pump damage. He's got S scaling in Arcane, so he's an absolute beast with frosts and bleeds and all of that stuff. As a matter of fact, I have a relic. I think it's from one of the Everdarks. It's the yellow relic from Caligos, I think, where it changes your starting weapon art to Chilling Mist, and then gives you something that conceals you whenever there's frost in your presence, and that is just so good. Like you can even just play through the game and fully upgrade your main weapon, and probably still be bumping deeps, even on the Night Lord. I don't know, because usually I end up swapping, because I end up getting like an Anspur Rapier or something like that, and playing Scholar with like the double poking sticks, double rapiers is just, it feels so good. You're just like stab, and you get like that counterattack bonus if you're able to score that among the power-ups. Bro, it's so good. It is so good. But yeah, that's a ton of fun. There's lots of stuff to explore, lots of stuff to still learn about it. I'm sure I'm going to be talking more about it and streaming it more. But personally, I recommend it. I think that if you enjoyed Nightreign, this is going to be right up your alley. You're going to enjoy this too. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Nightreign currently, and they will probably evolve with time as we explore the new map more and learn more about all of the new content that is in there, because I've played 10 hours. I feel like we've just kind of like scratched the surface. Sure, we've done the boss fights and all that, but there's still more things to learn in this map, because I'm not looking at any data mine stuff or anything like that. So yeah, funsies. Very much funsies. Oop. Oh yeah, I wanted to see this. Wish the input buffering in the game wasn't there, just ruins the fun for me. I don't have too many issues with input buffering on this game. I solo out of necessity, let me tell you, okay, but here's the thing. So you play in offline mode, Sword into Salad? Because, like, most of the game is online. I think the game is just digital. I don't think that there's, like, physical copies of the game. Oh, if you're on console and you can't pay for Plus. Never mind, I'm stupid. I'm stupid! I've just gotten so used to playing everything on PC that I just forget that when you're on console, you have to pay for Plus or Xbox Live, and that it fucking sucks. Because back in the day when I was on console, I would just always be paying for PlayStation Plus because of the monthly games that you would get. But yeah. Can you sustain this map's access playing on this map, or do you need to get back to the basic map for grinding? You need to do Everdark Sovereigns. And I don't think you can get... you can't get Everdark Sovereigns on this map as far as I'm aware. So yeah, you need to go back and do Everdark Sovereigns if you run out of the currency to keep doing this map. Internet tax, yeah. Defeating Everdark Nostra was religious experience. Thank fuck for Wilder being so well adjusted for solo. Wilder is probably still one of the best characters for soloing. I don't pay for online. Yeah, that's I keep forgetting that there's that with consoles. I'm just so used to PC at this point. I do feel like this is so sad to me, because like I think we were going to see a big resurgence in PC gaming, and then you just see the hardware side of things just shit the bed again, as it does repeatedly all the goddamn time. It just shits the bed once again. Crazy. Gundam X Dynamis, thank you very much for becoming grossly incandescent as a long beard, you giga chad. Tip of the hat. Appreciate support. Thank you. So with all the bosses and remembrances, so it's definitely doable. I didn't. It's just like I said, it's way more fun to me to play that game with friends. I didn't think so at the time. Seems I bought my PC at a good time. You did. You absolutely did, Wada. You can queue any boss in this. It's a shifting earth. I guess maybe you can do it, but you still have to beat an Everdark boss and learn a new map at the same time. Crazy to see now. I paid like 120 bucks for 32 gigs DDR5. Yep. Probably me too. Now that I think about it, let me see. The last thing I buy was at Global Data. Let me see. Just out of curiosity, let me see how much I paid for my PC. Okay, looks like... Yeah, the orders are here. Is it this? What is this? Is this my streaming PC? Yeah, this is my streaming PC. So here's how much I paid for my RAM. You guys remember when my streaming PC died and I had to buy a new one? This is how much I paid for it. There was an old address there. Somebody's gonna be bothering my my brother-in-law. Don't go there. But as I was saying, this is how much I paid for it. Corsair kit, 32 gigs, 2x16, 110 euro. 110 euro. Let's see how much that goes for now if that kit is still here. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Look at this shit. Bro, that is crazy. This is how much I paid for it. 110 euros. Now it's 561. That is insane. Do not buy RAM right now. Like straight up, do not buy RAM. That is my recommendation right now. Do not buy RAM unless your fucking life depends on it. Do not buy RAM. Okay, so apparently yesterday, besides the presentation of Path of Exile 2, there was also a showcase from PC Gamer. And there were 60 plus trailers shown in there. I don't know if any of you guys got to watch that show. If you did, and there's anything you want me to check out, let me know. I'm just going to very quickly go through these trailers otherwise. So you have Blood. Okay, so this thing is here. Let me get rid of this. Blood Refresh Supply. This seems like some type of first-person shooter. Night Swarm. What is this? Is this like... Jesus. Oh, it's a survivors-like RPG? Okay. I get the picture. This one we need to check out because this one seems like it'll be interesting, so I need to watch this one with attention. Substructure is like some new building game. Carmageddon. This one's an oldie, baby. I used to play Carmageddon back when I was like 12 or something.
Attention all drivers. This is your 1 minute warning. 1 minute to showtime. Those who
Jesus.
we salute you.
It's actually got shooting now. The original Carmageddon didn't have any of this. It was vehicular combat, but it was just like crashing. You would crash into cars and you would mess them up. The only thing that draws my attention to this is just nostalgia, to be completely honest, because like I have no idea whether or not this is going to be any good. But nostalgia definitely like, oh man, Carmageddon. Rogue point into the shooter, nutmeg, don't know what that is. Memories in orbit, ferocious launch trailer. Was this some type of like Turok thing? Looks like Turok. Old school shooter vibes. Did I see Remnant? There is a Remnant name in there, but it's not the Remnant you're thinking about. A friggin' mech? What engine is this? Crisis? Ferocious. Available now. Huh. Stealth drop. Animal kind. Cutesy animal thing. Not for me. Sanguis. There's like some strategy type thing. Neath. Turn-based tactical RPG. Trove of Seasons. Cozy. Killing Floor. Badass. Dogpile. Lunar Strike. What's this?
Following in Armstrong's footsteps. I can almost feel the history under my boots.
No more delays, Bo. Do what you must. Everything depends on you.
I'm gonna mute because of the music. It's gonna give me problems. Oh man, those animations look rough. The walking animations and jumping and stuff. The actual dialogue looks interesting, but it looks like it's more like an exploration drama type of game. Lunar Strike. Doesn't appear to be much combat. Archive the past to protect the future. Bring down the sky. Cairn is the climbing game. ETO studio reveal. Battlestar Galactica Scattered Hopes. What's this? Strategy game? Oh crap, this music's probably copyrighted. Damn it. Ooh. Ooh, pixel art. That's a strange clashing of art. You have like the homeworld type of art style for gameplay, and then you have pixel art coupled together with this. So I'm guessing this is Negotiations. Deha Cohen, Chief Tech, Colony of Aquaria. So basically it's going to simulate Battlestar Galactica. Interesting. Assuming the Cylons are right behind us. I'm actually kind of interested in this one, mostly because of the IP that it's associated with. I like Battlestar Galactica a lot. I think this one's already in early access. I'm actually not sure if it's early access or not. I know that I've seen creators that have played this already. That looks interesting. Soul Mask. Why does this seem familiar?
I hear an ancient call rising from the depths of the Nile. They cast an enigmatic shadow from beyond time, leading me into this realm of shifting sands. They say, to safeguard this land, the ancient gods shattered their vessel into 14 fragments. Only by restoring them can one bring the civilization's revival.
Oh, it's a survival
Here
type.
now,
Okay.
I shall steer the
I usually if it's just, oh, it's a survival type game. Okay, there's a million of those. If I'm gonna play a survival game, I'll probably play Enshrouded. Shrouded's pretty good. I like that one. Epoch Reset. A visual novel. Queen's Domain. What's this? Man, this is some old school looking game. This looks giga old school vibes, dude. Why does that look like the Master Sword? Look at that big beefy hammer. Why is there never a shield? This looks interesting. There's a demo out. Ultimate Bug War Starship Troopers.
Hi, I'm General Johnny Rico, and
They got the guy from the Starship Troopers movie?
by tuning into this broadcast.
Are you thinking about starting on the road to citizenship? This game will test your mettle and make sure you have what it takes to really give those bugs hell.
Man, that frame rate though.
Would you like to know more?
Interesting. Dark Switch. What's this one? It's like I'm mostly just going over some of these to see which ones look interesting to me. Okay, this looks like strategy. Build sim, something Akalon would play. Yeah, I don't play a lot of these games. Gotcha. Looks good though. What else? Hello Sunshine. What is this? Never heard about this game. We're gonna check out Soul Shogunate. I know that I want to see that one. It's an Estus flask. That's a big clanker. Big clanker. Oh damn, it ripped its head off. Looks like it's more of a follow along. Hellraiser, Last Flag, looks like some Fortnite shooter. Deep Rock Galactic Rogue Core Retcon? What is this?
On behalf of everyone at Ghost Ship Games, we would like to thank you, PC Gamer, for acknowledging us as one of the 25 most wanted games of 2026. It's an absolute honor.
Yeah, we're super excited and would like to share with you one of the new classes that we've added to Rogue Core.
Rock and Stone!
What is Rogue Core? I'm guessing Rogue Core is an expansion to Deep Rock Galactic? High on Life 2, Witchspire, Tamer Town, Spellcasters Chronicles, 3v3 PvP game, Crimson Desert! You know we're playing this. Is it a new trailer? This game is gonna be so good, dude.
Seeing you turn up here has given me a give.
The turncoat's taken the cuff.
This game is like way too much of everything, seems unreal. It does. It does seem unreal. The amount of stuff, the amount of ambition there is behind this game is absolutely insane. I am curious though. FPS roguelite. This might be our entry point, boys. This might be our entry point. When's this coming out? Ooh, you can request access to the playtest. Okay, I'm gonna request access. I'm assuming it's gonna be NDA'd, so you probably can't stream it or anything, but I'm curious. Where were we? Rogue Core. Okay, High on Life, Witchspire, Tamer Town, Spellcasters, Crimson Desert. We already watched Guild Wars. War Drum reveal trailer. What's this? It's another roguelike. Interesting art style. Den of Wolves, Modulus, Last Man Sitting, about fishing, Gods, Deaths, and Reapers. What's this?
All Reapers remember our first death, the betrayal, the afterlife that never came. We've died many times since.
Isometric?
But for us, Reapers, death is but the beginning.
Universe gameplay trailer.
What you know about the frontier, child? You think the great Uado tree is gonna bend to the IGPA? Me say no. The outer worlds are wild. These people are strong.
Oh, is it another survival
They
type?
keep safe their culture. Them cling to heritage. Them fight for it. Them
That looks
know the
rough.
ancestors.
Ooh, that.
And that
Ooh, my
knowledge gives
God,
them
dude.
power.
Listen, I'm be real, okay? If your game is in this state, showing a trailer is not the best idea. That looks rough as fuck. Brightfall.
Then help the guys with scavenging. This place is not as bad as it seems. There's some beauty in here too. Just remember to stay together. And awaken the lights wherever you go.
The Rakanishu
Brighter,
stones.
the better. If you don't, you risk becoming a shadow of your former self. One
Then you'll
last
hunt.
warning, lad.
You'll hunt the other players.
This place can not only change you, it can change itself.
This one looks somewhat interesting. Brightfall. Jesus, where were... Oh my God, there's still so much. Dawn of War 4, Let It Die Inferno. Oh yeah, that's the new Let It Die game. Streets of Fortuna. Remnant Protocol. This is the one that says Remnant in the name. Huh. Space Sim? This looks interesting. 12th of March. Poof. One day before Stories 3. Sorry, brother. That's going to be rough. Wait. Rivage. Rivage. Be My Horde. Regions of Ruin. Star Sand Island. Esoteric EBB. Dungeons of Dusk. Turn-based Doom type of thing. House of Hikmah. Samson. The Relic First Guardian. I remember watching something about this.
On the back, faint words are engraved. Elrad, I will return to my family.
Elrad, our child spins the pinwheel every day, waiting for you. I keep hoping someone might bring word of thee, or even something you left behind.
Father, the wind blew again today. Mother says the wind is you.
Though the steps never returned, their waiting became the wind that circles the hill. Only the pinwheel remembers the love of a family.
The Relic First Guardian. Says you're on Nightreign category. Oopsie daisy. Mistakes have been made. That should be fixed. That didn't look amazing. Let's see. Where were we? Relic First Guardian, Splitgate, Springs Eternal, Inkblood, Xbox Game Pass, Windrose. It's this one. This looks interesting. Wait, is it a survival game? It's a survival game, isn't it? I saw the UI for a second there. This is like 100% survival game. All right, looks like we checked out everything there. So the other thing that we want to check out that I was saving for last was this Sol Shogunate. Way of the samurai is to maintain balance. So Space Samurai? Halo World? Try to break me, but only sharpen my resolve. Paint the stars with your blood. Bold choice of soundtrack. I appreciate that. So, action game? Bro just tried parrying a spider. A big ass spider. See, that's what every longsword main does. They see something they want to parry it. Wishlist and follow on Steam. This looks interesting. This looks very interesting. And then there's God Slayer.
The hideout is on fire. Celestials. Master, they must be after the researcher.
Could be. We need to act fast. I'll deal with the Celestials. You go on ahead and find out what's going on. Don't do anything rash.
Ooh, some of these animations and voice acting's sounding kind of rough.
Easy for you to say. Now, how do I get past all the soldiers?
What happened? Again, is it?
Boom.
And he tells me not to do anything rash.
The sound is desynced for some reason. Smack. Yeah, see the flow of animations is very, very rough.
What? There you go.
So it's environmental traps the video game.
Where did he go? It's you.
That hit stop is good, but it's also a bit exaggerated.
Whoa, too many.
Stop! There he is. Nowhere to run. Don't move.
Somebody needs to get on the audio mixing there, and that was Bruce Lee's punch.
Have a taste of my ass. No, put it out. Put it out.
Does this dude have a gun lance in his hand? Just blew that dude's face. Bruce Lee's punch has fire? No, it's the one where he puts his hand like this. Then it's a Bruce Lee punch.
Gonna be cold.
Yeah, it does feel like Avatar. Dude's got fire, wind, ice.
What's going on here?
Half-inch punch? I don't... Is it half-inch? So it feels like more than...
Here we are. Fodder, fools, humans. Which is next?
Damn, that's a big boy.
That must be Master.
Damn, we punched him in the next Tuesday. Damn. The elemental stuff looks pretty cool. I wonder how you manage all of these special attacks. Because you can't just like, oh yeah, you can do all the magical stuff all the time. That's a big friggin' mech.
Go! Head for the signal.
Yeah, I expect switching stances, but I'm just curious if there's a cooldown system, or how does he get to just keep doing all those powers? Bonk. Okay, so wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold the phone. Like, what kind of a moron does this? Like, look at this. You have a big missile thing. You're gonna lob it at literally the strongest part of the blimp? You lob it at the balloon part. You bring that shit down. Like, what are you doing? Bonk. Bye.
Come on!
The Godslayer. Pathia Games.
A few years ago.
What if those guys worked on? Indie Studio. My first time at Evershine. My time at Evershine. My time at Sandrock. Ever Forward. Well, this is a bit of a departure from your usual stuff. My time at Portia. Planet Explorers. Ever Forward, Sandrock, SBT, Let's School. I'd never heard of these guys. Open world RPG. You are an Elemancer who refuses to bow. Infused with elemental powers and a heart of vengeance, you will dethrone them all. You will rise to be the God Slayer. Looks interesting. This didn't want to kill dude. Literally, ice shattered like 8 guys earlier. Yep. From a slice of life games of life games to an action open RPG. Yeah. So this one I hadn't heard of. I was just looking up news articles before I started today's stream. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond's $30 amiibo sparks exclusive bike radio backlash. As previously announced, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond Samus amiibo unlocks a range of in-game features, including an energy shield that blocks 99 damage. I remember talking about this when they mentioned this, because I said this is a pay-to-win feature. I don't care what anybody else says, it's a pay-to-win feature. Even if you can only use it once a day, I've said this at the beginning, whenever there's even 0.00001 advantage that you can get, that's a pay-to-win feature. Don't care. End of story. It's just a matter of how much do you care about the fact that your game has pay-to-win features, how aggressive they are, etc., etc. This to me is pay-to-win feature. Don't care. Limited to 1 use per day, but fan discussion is now centered around the fact that this amiibo also unlocks a jukebox feature for Samus's Viola motorbike, which allows you to hear other themes from the game. Discussion around the rights and wrongs intended providing extra features for amiibo owners, nothing new. Dozens of Nintendo games include exclusive editions for people who own associated figurines or borrow them from friends. Additionally, in this case, there have also been a number of inaccuracies shared over the radio's usage, with some reports incorrectly stating that it includes otherwise exclusive music, or the bike's main Soul Valley area is silent. It's true Soul Valley's ethereal ambient music is relatively sparse. The desert-like area is meant to be a wasteland after all, and notably different environment from the game's main areas that Samus once again explores on foot. Some fans suggest it would be nice to have the option of turning on the in-game radio without buying a $30 toy. While a familiar argument for Nintendo games with amiibo exclusive features seems fair enough, couldn't they have given us that jukebox made in the first place instead of having us buy an accessory to unlock said jukebox mode? Wrote Nintendo fan United Wolf. Spending more money on a game we already bought for 70 to 80 bucks. Honestly, if the DLC is something that doesn't affect the gameplay and story, then I'm fine with this. It's cosmetic, doesn't impact the game. I don't know, dude. $30 to kill the intended ambience. I mean, it's a radio. It's a radio. Why couldn't you just give people the radio? Like, what's the big deal? It's so weird, dude. You need to buy this for Psylocke's lore? Really? Oh my god. You also get access to a jukebox to play music from different areas after you 100% the game. I don't know, dude. This just feels dirty. It just feels dirty. That's the thing. A lot of DLCs that has been coming out, it just feels dirty. Even with the Stories 3 thing, with the additional story for Rudy or whatever, it feels dirty. Like, am I going to not play the game over it? No, I'm still going to play the game, but it feels dirty. Like, I wish they hadn't done that. It was dumb. Should have made it Samus in bikini amiibo. You have Zero Suit, Samus. It does affect gameplay. It affects my player senses, like if Lies of P jukebox required buying an OST first. Yep. What's the point if you've already 100%ed it? Yeah, I don't know. Like I said yesterday, the Rudy quest is a test. Maybe. Not a big fan of this. Anyway. Longbeard shoutouts. Thank you very much to X Necro Eyes X, Sierra 51, Vokoru 1, Golf of Fajis, Epherian 688, James Cheek, Gregory K, Hookai, Venom Pure Evil, J Hat, Josh Brown, Pestos, Ricardo Condinho, Worst Wordmonger, Pascal Calais, Mobius Dragon, Bam Bam, Victor, Mizzen Jamal, Hidden Aussie, Quirin Das, Heimdall, The Bug Shaker, Fidel Varela, Astronaut Age, Angela Gillespie, Dr. Eisenhower, Sephiroth, Sangetsu, Lady Star Kitsune, Mr. Wipeout, Eugenie, Inquisitor Reed, Jojo Mojo, where were we? Sir Sedan, D. Luffy, Killer X316X, Draxus K, Renix, J. Walco, Senior Bacon, Sam Castellan, New Video Nerd, Sherlock Para, Fixter, Cold Brick, Red Pig Bank. It keeps resetting. Red Pig Bank, Angry Scott's Dad, Robert, and Report Turret. Wait, I know that's Shelby Neko. God damn it, YouTube. Anyway, thank you all very much for being gross incandescent as Longbeards, you Giga Chads. Tip of the hat. Appreciate the support. And thank you very much to all the Iron Breakers out there and for all the outstanding people that have been supporting and even just watching, liking, enjoying these streams. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Tip of the hat. Thank you very, very much. Continuing. So, heads up. Next Monday, there's going to be a Monster Hunter showcase. It's going to be featuring content from Monster Hunter Wilds, obviously Title Update 4, and probably a teaser for Title Update 5 or whatever is going to be coming after Title Update 4, since there's still a lot of people that think that there's not going to be a Title Update 5. I'm like 99% sure there's going to be more support on Monster Hunter Wilds beyond Title Update 4. Whether it is in the form of another title update, I think there will be more title updates beyond 4. But regardless if there's the traditional free title update format, there's 100% going to be more content added into the game in the form of event quests and all that stuff. There's no doubt in my mind. This is going to be happening at the times shown here, so 2 p.m. Pacific Standard or 10 p.m. GMT. My time zone is GMT, so we are going to be watching this. I'm probably going to be going live ahead of the showcase. Now we're going to be watching the showcase, having a good time, talking about Monster Hunter, all things Monster Hunter. Hopefully you guys will be there. I'm going to probably put the event up even today. Pretty soon here, I'm going to have to take my kid to jiu-jitsu, but before we do that, after we do that, I will then do the event for Monday for all that shenanigans. Social media posts are saying it's solely title update 4, so I don't think there'll be a teaser. I think there's always a teaser. On these things, there's always a teaser. So I would expect there to be a teaser. But yeah, that's going to be happening on Monday. But there's also been an update to the guild report. I haven't really watched any of the updates, but they've added some stuff on the to be implemented list. More event quests for 9-star monsters and title update 4 event quests for 9-star tempered monsters such as Doshaguma will be added. So there's going to be more 9-star. Wait, a 9-star Doshaguma? That means that anything's on the table. That means that pretty much most monsters are going to be getting into 9-star treatment. I want a 9-star Chemitrice. Chemitrice is going to be the way to go. I think that 9-star Doshaguma, the way that they're going to make it more challenging is they're going to force you to fight all the Doshaguma, so even the females that are hanging around the alpha. I would expect that to be a thing in that quest. 9-star Gravios would mess people up. Yup. Handlers push hunters in photo mode. Handlers will be updated to no longer push hunters around. That did happen quite a few times. Items are canceled when riding Sacred. Item usage while riding a Sacred will be updated so that items will not be canceled when the Sacred automatically dodges. See, for a second I read this and I was actually really excited. I was like, wait, you can no longer use items while you're riding Sacred? This would be amazing. No. It's actually making it easier for you to use items when you're riding Sacred. All right. I was just like, I started reading this point and I was like, oh my, this is great. But no. Not as material retrieval feature, does not display enough information when receiving multiple items. I don't care. I just want to hit take all and have all that go to the box. I don't care if it shows me what I got or not. It's whatever. It's not a big deal. Items in the item pouch cannot be discarded on the supply items confirmation window. An option will be added to the supply confirmation window to allow items to be discarded from the item pouch. I don't want to discard anything. Put everything to the bag. New weapon reinforcement features. Coming with free title update 4, rarity 8 Ardian weapons can be upgraded into Gogma Ardian weapons. Wait, this I've already seen. Yeah, this we've already seen. I thought that there was more news beyond this, but I guess not. Wasn't there something about... I thought that there was another thing. Let me just check real quick. I thought there was something that the developers had said. Join us for Monster Hunter Showcase, December 8th, 2 p.m., 10 p.m. GMT. Monster Hunter Wilds event will focus solely on free title update 4. You'll be able to watch live on our official Twitch and YouTube accounts. Seeing this cozy concept of the Woodwood hideout. There's some new updates to title update 4. I thought that there was something that developers had mentioned, but I guess not. It might have been on like the Japanese Twitter. I think I've heard something about Tokuda-san asking people to try the game out again, people who thought the game was too hard. I've never used Sacred Recovery. Am I wrong? No, you're not wrong. But you might want to use it in some of the harder content in the game. I've definitely started using it there. But yeah, that's another bit of an update on the guild report stuff. We'll see how it pans out with title update 4. They're going to give us all the deets. How you guys feeling on potentially Gogmazios being a siege? Hey, iNoob, what's up? That's on IGN, Ruri, what you're looking for, is it? Do. 2 days ago, would it be this? PlayStation Partner Awards. I think it is this. At the PlayStation Partner Awards 2025 Japan Asia held in Tokyo on December 3rd, Monster Hunter Wilds won the Grand Award and the User's Choice Award. In an interview held before the ceremony, Ryozo Sugimoto, the producer of this work, and Yuya Tokuda, the director, answered questions from local media. IGN Japan was in attendance. When Monster Hunter Wilds was first released on February 28th, some players left harsh feedback, but Tokuda said the team worked to improve the game by taking advantage of that feedback. Immediately after the release, we apologized for the inconvenience caused by the volume of content and the difficulty level. Despite this, we were delighted to receive various awards, including User's Choice Awards. We'd like to thank all the players who have given their opinions and spoken warm words, even in this situation. The development team was able to turn everyone's feedback into an asset and work on the update with all our strength, and I think the result was also the reason why players voted for us, said Tokuda-san. Monster Hunter has the characteristics of a title that gets regular updates, but player opinions were very helpful during the update process. In order to make Monster Hunter Wilds better, the fans' voices gave us power. There are still updates left to come, so we will continue to do our best, added Sugimoto. Updates. Updates. Plural. More than one. Not just free title update 4, updates. The Monster Hunter series celebrated its 20th anniversary last year. The franchise was a hit in Japan, and after the release of Monster Hunter World in 2018, grew into a literal monster title overseas. According to Tokuda-san, the Monster Hunter Wilds team were more aware than ever of being accepted by newcomers or those who had trouble beating the games. See, this was overcorrection. The game was definitely on the easy side on the main campaign. 100%. But they've course corrected on that. They've overcorrected from previous games where people are saying, oh, it's too hard. But now they've course corrected it. Now we have the challenges in the end game. We analyze what kind of places beginners were stuck in, including Monster Hunter World. We have worked on these points in turn to make it easier for new users to clear hurdles, such as being able to reach certain monsters or to craft certain types of armor. In addition, we have tried to adopt as many new elements as possible that are beneficial for both beginners and existing users, such as focus mode, this time as a result of making the game easy to beat even for new players and players who could not clear it before. I think the difficulty curve was a little lacking for existing users. See? That's actually funny. Oh man, the amount of people that gave me crap when I said the game was a little bit on the easy side. You guys remember that? Tokuda-san agrees. Tokuda said the team is focused on creating more difficult content with each update. They definitely did. Like I said, I was happy with 8.5s. 8.5s was where a low rank, high rank game should be. Them adding 9.5s, that was like, mwah. That's exactly what I want. Although I do think that for a lot of people, that's maybe a bit much, but it is what it is. If you beat the game immediately after its release and stopped playing, I would appreciate it if you could pick it up again, said Tokuda-san. Absolutely. Like, there's lots of challenges to do now. There's way more content to check out now. Absolutely. Monster Hunter Wilds still has updates to come. Sujimoto also talked a little about the future of the series. Of course, we don't intend to stop the series here. We plan to continue. We want to let more people play. In addition, I would like to think about things beyond the games so that we can further expand the potential of Monster Hunter IP, said Sujimoto. Well, let's not do any more movies like the one you did last time. So if you do have movies, make sure you have the people that work on the Monster Hunter stories work on those movies, as opposed to just letting Hollywood run rampant and having that disgusting abomination that was the Monster Hunter movie. The Legends of the Guild was pretty cool, though. I liked Legends of the Guild. That was fun. The other one, not so much. From Sujimoto's remarks, it seems we can continue to look forward to new games and more in the Monster Hunter series. Sujimoto was also asked where Monster Hunter stands with the overall catalog of Capcom IP, where he answered diplomatically. Capcom is a company with various IPs, and every IP is very important. I'm in charge of Monster Hunter Now. That's all I can comment on. Okay, when he says Monster Hunter Now, he means Monster Hunter Now, presently. He doesn't mean Monster Hunter Now, the game. That's all I can comment on, but as Capcom, we want to expand all our IPs. Capcom scheduled to release Resident Evil Requiem, Onimusha Way of the Sword, and Pragmata in 2026. Bro, the absolute disrespect from IGN. The absolute disrespect. Bro, what about Monster Hunter Stories 3? Excuse me. The absolute disrespect for the Monster Hunter Stories IP. What the crap, dude? This is crazy, dude. This is I can't believe they would disrespect it like this. What do you mean? There was no other Monster Hunter movie other than Legends of the Guild. Yep, exactly. I agree. I completely agree. Still says your Nightreign category on Twitch. Why? No, refresh. I've already changed it. Just refresh if it hasn't updated for you, but I've already changed it. Should have changed it already. If it hasn't, then I can't fix it. It's broken. What about Dragon's Dogma 2, man? I mean, this is IGN reporting. It's not Capcom officially reporting. Yeah, them's the news on Monster Hunter Wilds. We're going to know way more on Monday. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell. By the way, you might want to check if you're still subscribed, because I've had comments from a lot of people saying I was subscribed, then I got unsubscribed. Don't know why. YouTube's just been doing that to lots of channels. I'm not the only case, but just pointing it out. Just check if you want to keep up. If you don't, that's fine. Whatever. We're going to be checking out the Path of Exile presentation next. Let me just get my apple real quick. I'll be right back. Oh man, weather's looking like there's gonna be a fierce storm coming in. Rurikhan, as a variety streamer gamer, do you care about gaming in HDR or couldn't care less? The problem is, in that question, is exactly the streamer part of it. Streaming and content creation in HDR is something that the technology is just not there yet. So it's very inconvenient. It's very problematic, especially when it involves capture cards and stuff like that. Especially when it involves the format of the video once it hits YouTube. And basically I feel like, at least for me, maybe it's my limited knowledge because I'm not like super technical into different video formats and all that bullshit. I usually just like, oh, I hear AV1's pretty good. I guess we're doing AV1 now. Oh, H.265 is better than H.264. We're doing H.265 now. But the thing is, I've always struggled with being able to play games in HDR and streaming the game. But you take the streamer part out of that and the content creator part, you take all of that out, and just me as a gamer, I would literally play everything in HDR, and it is 1,000% more important to me than any type of ray tracing bullshit that people put into video games. HDR is a million times better when it's properly implemented, because not everybody knows how to implement HDR properly, but when it's properly implemented, I will play everything with HDR over ray tracing. 100%. I love HDR. Rurikhan, do you still think Monster Hunter would gain this big of an audience without this director? Tokuda-san didn't direct every Monster Hunter game. We had 2 directors for Rise and Sunbreak. 2 different directors. That wasn't Tokuda-san. Which, Ichinose? Ichinose and... I forget the name of the dude who did Sunbreak. And both Rise and Sunbreak are both phenomenal games. So yes, Monster Hunter would still have a huge audience, even if it was with different directors. That's not saying that what Tokuda-san has done is bad or his input is not valuable. It's 100% valuable. I think that Tokuda-san is incredibly talented. He's done a phenomenal job with both World and Wilds. But I still think that the rest of the team would still be able to make a really, really good game, even if he wasn't at the helm. And I also think that even when he isn't at the helm as director, he's probably still involved in a lot of decision-making when it comes to this franchise. I remember an article came out recently about how devs couldn't do HDR well because their leads were not giving them HDR monitors to test. That is peak development right there. It's Jeppu. I don't think they're making exclusives anymore. I think the exclusives era is over. They've even stated that like PC is kind of like their main development platform. No, DeSouza, I don't believe that at all. I think that every single Monster Hunter going forward will be a cross-platform title. I'm not saying it's going to be cross-play or cross-progression, but I do think it will be cross-platform. I think it would take a whole lot of money or a whole lot of blunders before they'd have to do another exclusive. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did Gundam. Maria, I'm curious about Portuguese culture. Do you Portuguese find offensive if you are mistaken for Brazilians due to sharing the same language? Depends on the person. There will be people in Portugal that will genuinely be offended if you confuse them for Brazilians. And then there's me. I just meme on it. I don't care. There's a bunch of people in Portugal that will not care if you confuse them for... It's the usual thing, right? Somebody's having a bad day. They get confused for being Brazilian. They feel like you're disrespecting their heritage. They're going to be mad. But I think the majority of people probably don't give a fuck. I don't care. Like, Socks thought I was Brazilian. Socks was the previous Monster Hunter community manager. That's why they fired his ass. Because he thought I was Brazilian. And they fired him for it. No, I'm joking. I love Socks. I'm absolutely joking. How far do you live from Guarda? My manager is from Guarda. I live really far away. I think Guarda is like hardcore North Portugal. Actually, it's more like inwards, but it's still really far. See, I'm like... This is Portugal. I'm like around here. And this is Guarda. It's like it's quite a stretch. It's a big stretch. Oh, it's right next to Serra da Estrela, actually. I didn't even know it was so close. I thought it was further north. I thought Guarda would be like here. Oh, I got it confused with Bragança. Yeah, Bragança is the one that's like giga north. Guarda is actually more. Still like way north, but I'm like over here. r/Portugal caralho wants to know your location. I thought you were from US way back then. A lot of people think I'm from US. My accent, man. Genuine question, does Portugal get snow? Yes, in the north. Absolutely. But not here. Here, if there's a storm coming, it's usually rain. We had one summer. It was really weird. There was one day in summer, out of nowhere, we had snowfall right where I live. Happened once in my whole lifetime. What do you recommend to visit by Mot in Portugal? I don't know. I'm not really big into visiting my own country, strangely enough. I'm actually terrible at that. Usually whenever I have friends over from other countries, I just phone up my friend Nox Tom. You guys see him in chat every now and then. I just phone him up and I'm like, hey, so I have these friends that came visit me from outside the country. Can we show them Lisbon? And Tom just like takes us to the best spots in Lisbon. I'm fucking terrible, dude. Can you visit all the interesting places in Lisbon within 2 days? Depends on what you consider to be interesting. Probably yes. You can probably visit most of the interesting spots in Lisbon in 2 days. Unless you're like going giga deep dive and you want to do literally everything, then it might take you longer. Damn self-doxing. How it feels when you use a VPN. I don't care. I'm hoping that I'm not hated enough by anyone to actually come to Portugal and kill me. Because I think it would actually be very easy to find me and kill me in Portugal. So I'm just hoping that even people that don't like me don't hate me enough to come over here and kill me. Too late, Rippery. Damn. Already, bro? Is it one of those people that I banned for 24 hours? They got so mad. They got so ass mad that I was enjoying playing Nightreign or Monster Hunter Wilds. They're like, that motherfucker needs to go. That Portuguese motherfucker enjoying this video game I don't like. Fuck him. I'm gonna kill him. It's easy to find anyone if you know their name. Yeah, that's the thing. I made my name public a long time ago, so I don't care. Please don't kill me. I don't think I've done anything worth getting killed over. My restock take. Oh! Restocking in Monster Hunter? The dude I banned multiple times when I was playing Dragon's Dogma 2. Bro, you guys gotta admit, that motherfucker, that guy, he wasn't playing around. That was a guy of sheer fucking willpower. For those of you that don't know, during the Dragon's Dogma 2, we had a guy come over in the chat and he just goes like, fucking hate this game, can't believe you're playing this game, or some variation of that sentence. And so I banned him for 24 hours. And I just said this throwaway thing where I said, why don't you come back tomorrow and tell me the same thing? He took me up on that. And the next day, exactly when the ban expired, there he was. And he's like, I'm back. This game fucking sucks. I can't believe you're playing it. And then I said, okay, I'm impressed. Tell you what, why don't you come back tomorrow and tell me the same thing? And as Victor is saying, motherfucker came back 5 days in a row. We did this for 5 days. On the 5th day, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to let you stay. You've earned your stay. And then I forget if it was on that day or the day after, he just became incredibly obnoxious and I just permanently banned him. Like he would just not shut up. Like I didn't even ban him on the first time that he would write negative stuff for the game. It was just one of the days he would just not stop. He would just kept going and going and going. And I was like, I'm sorry, man. I really liked having you around. But it's just too much. It's too much. Bro, gonna get them daily login bonus. He was getting the Rurikhan stream daily login bonus. The streak. He was keeping the login streak. Oh, man. That is great, dude. That is so fantastic. That made me so happy, though. Anyway, guys, it's time. Let's see what's coming. The Path of Exile 2. Jonathan Rogers is here with us. Hey, Jonathan, how you doing? Why don't you tell us all about the new update that you guys are working on? It's an actual interview, okay? Jonathan Rogers is actually with me on the line right now. He's just not moving because he is a very serious person, okay? Like, he's only going to move when it's time for everything to start, right? Right, Jonathan? You ready? You got everything set up? You got your notes? Blink once if you're not being held hostage. Guys, I think we might have a problem. Jonathan?
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers.
Hey, he's online.
Exile 2, and welcome to GGG Live. Today we're going to show you an exclusive reveal for what's coming next for Path of Exile 2. Twitch drops are enabled on today's live stream, so you'll be able to claim your Verdant Wilds dodge roll effect by following the instructions below. Now today, it's finally time to show off a new class that we know everyone in the community's been waiting for. So let's roll the trailer for Path of Exile 2, The Last of the Druids.
Hells yeah, Jonathan. Thank you for showing up, by the way. Wake up! Wait, he's naked! I'm gonna get demonetized, Jonathan! It's so typical of druids. Isn't it typical of druids? They just wake up naked in the forest. Like, what the hell were you doing, you filthy tree hugger? You just showed up naked in this trailer.
Well, well. What have we got here then?
You lost, fella?
Hey, we're talking to you.
I asked you a question.
What's wrong with him?
Bro's got the worst hangover.
Ah, he's lost his bloody mind.
Look at that beast. It's probably going to be the tankiest character in the game. Or just shapeshift into a dragon? The last of the druids.
I will find you, Eve.
I will find you who?
Now, as you can see, the druid is a shape-shifting elemental spellcaster. After his fellow druids were destroyed by the King in the Mists, the druid lost his humanity in the forests of Ogham, where he wandered for years as a beast. Now, finally reawakened, he's determined to find his lost wife and regain his humanity. The druid has been one of the hardest classes for us to design. As well as having human spells, he has 3 animal forms, and we wanted to make sure that there were interesting combos between all of them. The druid is our first hybrid strength and intelligence class. That means he needs to have the ability to use spells and attacks. As a human, the druid typically uses magical staves to harness the powers of the earth and the natural world. One of the first skills you will learn is the ability to create small volcanoes from the earth. This skill spits out balls of magma at your enemies, and will continue to do so for some time. While the volcano is active, turn into an animal and wade into melee range. Many of the skills you use as a human last for a significant period of time, giving you a good chance to turn into an animal and rage out. But how do you turn into an animal, you may ask? Well, the answer is a new weapon type that druids use, animal talismans. When you equip an animal talisman, you can choose which animal form you would like the talisman to represent. Depending on what you choose, you'll be given that animal's basic attack as a new skill to equip.
So basically you swap between weapons and then you transform into a beast. Interesting. Leah Seth, thank you very much for becoming grossly incandescent. Tip of the hat. Appreciate support. Thank you. You're at much higher risk of getting demonetized further into the video, mate. That's fine.
For a bear,
as long as Jonathan doesn't pull his pecker out in the middle of the live stream, I think we're going to be just fine. Maybe.
That's maul. To turn into a bear, simply use the skill. Your character will instantly transform into a bear and attack. If you want to change back to a human, just cast a spell. You will instantly swap back and cast it. We wanted to make sure that swapping between forms was seamless and immediate. Changing forms should be something that you do without even thinking about it all the time in battle. In order to allow for hybrid melee and caster gameplay, most of the skills you use in your human form last for some time and aid your animal skills in some way.
My biggest concern with a class like this is how's the survivability on it? Is it going to be, because I'm always thinking, even though I don't play that much in high tier, you know, the final maps and all of that stuff, because usually the best experiences I have is when I'm starting the campaign. Like, I feel like I'm the opposite of the typical Path of Exile player, where I'm having the most fun when I'm figuring out the build of my character in the campaign. When it comes to the part of like, okay, I figured out what the build's going to be, now I have to min-max it to infinity. That's usually when things start getting boring for me. The process of puzzling out, ooh, this skill works with this thing and that thing, that's the fun part. Then now let's make the numbers go bigger. That's when I'm just like, you know?
Volcano we used earlier will emit more molten balls whenever you hit it with a slam, making it perfect for use with your bear form's furious slam.
These are graphical improvements. Like, look at the slam effects there. That's really cool.
While in bear form, many of your abilities use rage. There are a lot of ways to generate rage, but the easiest one is simply smash your enemies with maul. Once you see the runes on your back glowing, it means you have enough rage to do a much more devastating version of your furious slam. Your bear form can also go on a rampage, stomping the ground as you demolish your foes. The more rage you have, the longer the rampage lasts, and doing it over a volcano makes it even better.
Yeah, slam it. That's pretty fun.
As you consume rage...
I should point out, I'm usually not much into shape-shifting though, so I don't know if I will be playing Druid, but it looks really, really good for people that enjoy this type of playstyle.
Your bear form will generate endurance charges, and these can be used with skills like Ferocious Roar.
But yeah, my thought process, I went on a tangent there and then forgot to conclude it. It's like, whenever I think about max maps, I'm always just reminded of the experience, which is the moment you make a tiny little mistake, dead. And I'm just wondering, what's the Druid experience going to be like? Are you going to be giga tanky when you're in bear form, and then you swap over to human to cast a spell, and zap, dead instantly? Is that the type of binary gameplay that you're going to be having on like a tier 15 map? I don't know. They're probably going to talk
Ferocious
about
Roar is a war cry that empowers
like that
your subsequent attacks to break your opponent's armor. The more endurance charges you have when you use it, the more empowered attacks you will gain. But Ferocious Roar has another special feature too. It's a meta gem that allows you to socket any Warcry gem from another class into it, giving you the ability to use these skills as a bear. Use the Warrior's Infernal Cry skill to make your enemies explode.
Damn. Harsh.
Or use Seismic Cry to stun your enemies and double up the number of slams you do.
Choo-choo!
You can even use it with Ancestral Call, a skill that turns you into the fire god Khal. Ever wondered what the Karui god of war would look like if he was a bear? Well, wait no longer.
Bro, he's just a
Finally,
train!
build up enough rage and you can use one of the bear's ultimate abilities, Walking Calamity. This skill summons a storm of fire around you for some time, while generating even more rage to power your other abilities. A true bear-pocalypse. Now the bear is known for being a slow.
I expect the other classes to also be getting cool stuff like this, Jonathan. Jonathan? Hello? Carry on.
And more lumbering animal, with slower attacks and heavy slams. But what if you want to turn into something a little more nimble? Well, let's check out the second animal form for the druid, wolf form. For the wolf form, we wanted to go fast and furious. Even just the wolf's basic attack will leap forward and rake his foes. After attacking, the wolf stands up on two legs, but after running for a short time, he goes back on all fours, allowing to move more quickly between packs of enemies. The wolf has a lot of cold attacks based on his association with the moon, and the first of these is Lunar Assault. It's great for freezing your enemies in place. After they're frozen, use your basic rake attack to knock shards of ice off your enemies, which land on the ground nearby and explode. If you want to get into battle quickly, you can use your pounce attack. This skill leaps at a target and applies a mark to them. Killing the marked enemy will summon a wolfman into your side, allowing them to fight with you. Mark and kill as many enemies as you can to build up a sizable pack. While an enemy is marked, your wolves will prioritize that target and do more damage the more wolves you have. So make sure you keep your pack strong. Now, one problem you might run into is your wolf pack dying in boss fights. You often don't have any enemies that you can mark and kill in order to regenerate your pack. To deal with this problem, you can use Cross Slash. Cross Slash jumps backwards and does a vicious double slash. Any marks on your target explode and triggers their abilities. This allows you to pounce to mark an enemy and then summon a wolf even without killing it. Cross Slash also has another feature though. Remember those ice fragments from before? Well, Cross Slash will propel any ice shards on the ground towards its central target. First, freeze your enemies with Lunar Assault. Then rake them to create as many ice fragments as you can. Then follow up with Cross Slash to generate a field of icy explosions to obliterate your enemies. If they're still alive after that, your pack of wolves can finish them off. Just like with the bear's raw skill earlier that allows you to use skills from other classes, Pounce is also a meta gem that you can socket mark skills from other classes into. So for example, you might want to try adding Freezing Mark from the Monk to Pounce. After pouncing at an enemy, Cross Slash to explode the mark and gain extra cold damage for a time.
They cooked with this class.
The wolf has many other ways to go all in on cold though. Using the Arctic Howl Warcry will allow you to add cold damage and chilled ground to any slam, while buffing your pack of wolves as well. You can also use it to freeze enemies that are close to being frozen, making it much faster to use your other combos. Finally, the wolf also has the ability to call down the power of the moon to transform into an Arctic werewolf with Lunar Blessing. In this form, you move and attack more quickly and deal extra cold damage. Consuming Rage will extend the duration of your Arctic wolf form, so you could try a hybrid bear and wolf build if you want to utilize the skill to its full effect. Alright, let's talk about the third form available to the druid, and I think
the Wyvern. Rui, I remember watching your WoW videos as a kid. Do you ever play WoW Classic off stream? No, I haven't played World of Warcraft in the longest of times.
It's a cool one. The Wyvern. The Wyvern has a number of long-range breath abilities. But that doesn't mean you can't get into melee range when you want to.
Looks more like a Drake.
The basic attack of the Wyvern is Rend. Jump forward into combat and slash your enemies with your lethal talons. If they're close to being stunned, you can blow them off balance with a blast from your wings, causing an explosion of damage. After the battle though, it's time to feed. Devour the corpses of monsters to create power charges, and this is when the Wyvern's abilities really come online. When using Rend, you can consume a power charge to charge up your wings with lightning. Not only does this do a bunch of damage, but it allows you to turn this melee skill into a much larger AoE attack. Once your wings are charged, your Wing Blast will also do lightning explosions for even more damage.
Damn.
If your enemies are close to death, no need to wait for them to actually die. When you see this blue marker, just devour them alive. Fresh meat is much tastier after all. Alright, so those are some melee options, but how about range? Well, you wouldn't be much of a dragon if you couldn't breathe fire after all. Rolling Magma is the first of the Wyvern's breath attacks. Spit balls of fire that bounce along the ground. These balls will trigger volcanoes as well, so it's a good idea to cast one as a human right before you start spitting. But that's not all you can spit. You have something a little nastier in that gullet of yours. Spitting a barrage of oil at your enemies will cover them in a viscous sludge that makes them easier to ignite. If you have power charges though, plant your wings in the ground and vomit a barrage of lightning-infused projectiles. The more power charges you have, the longer you can do this for. But make sure you keep your foes at range. You're vulnerable to melee attacks while channeling this skill. In order to help with that, let's take a quick diversion back to some of your human abilities. As a druid of Scoth, you have the ability to harness the power of nature to create entangling vines to slow down your enemies. Another of nature's punishments is the thunderstorm. Creating one of these will create periodic strikes of lightning from the sky, and will also make your enemies wet. Why is that useful? Well, of course, things that are wet are easier to shock. Use it with lightning damage from your Wyvern form to enhance your damage. Making things wet also makes them easier to freeze, so it works nicely with your wolf form as well. And you know what else likes water? Plants. Water your plants to give them various extra abilities. Use Lightning Storm with Entangle to make them last longer, and attach more vines to each enemy, slowing them further. Summon Thrashing Vines to slam at your enemies for a time. Any that are created in water will be larger and deal more.
Here's one of the big problems with the gameplay that he is showing, right? The reason why a lot of players play Path of Exile is to get to the end game. At least this is what I see. It's not my case, but that's where I see most of the player base, right? They want to get to that end game. They want to like pump the numbers. They want to do all of that stuff, which is cool. I'm not criticizing that. So like all of this, oh yeah, you can put the vines and then you water the vines and then you do the thing and then you're in a tier 15 map and it's like, yeah, and there's 10 billion monsters that are going to come in and one tap me and I'm going to be like, oh, let me put the vines down and what? It's like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. That's the one big problem that I still see with Path of Exile 2. And I feel like with the last league that they've done, it was doubly the case of that, where you were basically just like, you have to blow up everything giga fast or you're done, because there were so many things that would just straight up one tap you, right? And I understand it's still in early access and all of that, but I just find it interesting that he's showing all of these really cool things, because I do find this cool. I think it's really cool that you have the interaction with the water and the vines and all of this stuff. But the biggest issue is that that's great, Jonathan. Can I use this in a tier 15 map? Probably not. So the experience of the campaign is still important, and I think it's still cool. But if it doesn't work on an end game map, because it's like the whole point of the campaign is for you to be preparing your build to head into end game. So the things that you are doing, if they're working in the campaign, they need to also work on a tier 15 map. So if I'm doing all of this, right, I'm playing towards the vines, and the water comes in, waters the vines, then I'm going to do the lightning, and because they're wet and with the vines, I'm going to take more damage and all of that stuff. I love doing that. But if I get the tier 15 and that doesn't work, it's going to be really, really frustrating, which is the problem that I think a lot of players run into. There's actually changes to the end game to make it that deliberate play style more viable. We'll see. They cut the enemy density in maps by 40%. Okay, so we haven't gotten to that part yet. So I need to hear him talk through that and the logic behind that and all of that. I had already seen that on Twitter, I think. Somebody has said something about them cutting the density in maps, which is cool. But even cutting the density doesn't change the fact that a lot of skills that have this kind of like, what should I put it, this more utilitarian benefit to them, a lot of those skills simply aren't viable. Even if you cut the density down, right? If you're still not able to kill stuff fast enough, it still doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. Spoke about having plans to make players be able to spec into buffing monsters and have less monsters to have weaker monsters, so that might help. Okay, so let's keep watching. We'll get to that. Like I'm just pointing this stuff out because, you know, I'm going to be criticizing some of this stuff as we go along, and I would like people to understand where I'm coming from and why I'm saying these things. Because I'm not saying this because I'm like, oh, I'm going to rag on PoE 2. No, I'm super excited about the game. You guys know this. I've loved PoE 2 ever since it came out. I think it's fantastic.
Now then, with our enemies sufficiently subdued with our plants, time to really lay into them with our lightning-infused barrage. Now, this last Wyvern ability is just ridiculous, but we felt like we had to do it. Use Flame Breath to take to the skies and rain down a stream of fire on your enemies. You have wings, so we have to take full advantage of them after all. So fly around and burn in it.
How do you aim that with a controller? Because I know how you aim that with a mouse. I'm curious as to how you aim that with a controller. Probably right stick.
Now there are a few other skills we didn't cover, but there's one in particular that I think will open up a lot of builds. Spell Totems. Spell Totems are meta gems that let you create a totem that will automatically cast any spell in the game for a time. In order to create one, you will need to spend 3 endurance or 3 power charges. You could use them to throw fireballs, summon comets, or shower the area in lightning. Really, the options are kind of endless. Your bear form can easily generate endurance charges by consuming rage, and your wyvern form can easily create power charges by eating corpses. So it's pretty easy for the druid to get the charges needed, but they're also available from quite a few other places as well. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of different spellcaster classes thinking about how best to take advantage of these. Now of course, along with a new class comes a bunch of new support gems. We've added over 30 new supports throughout the game, but I'll show you a few of the cooler ones here. Fan the Flames can be added to any wind skill to spread fire from one ignited enemy to the other enemies behind them. It's great for the Wyvern's Wing Blast. We can also use it on many other classes with wind skills, like the Twisters on the Huntress, or the Monk's Staggering Palm Projectiles. Accelerated Growth causes extra explosive plants to erupt from the ground whenever you grow plants with rain. And Advancing Storm changes storm skills like your Thunderstorm or Tornado to move across the battlefield. It's great for watering plants en masse, or to turn tornadoes into a real disaster by sucking up multiple ground effects as they travel along.
Jesus.
And the Sorceress might like to use it with Firestorm as well.
That's pretty cool.
Echoing Cry causes your Warcry skills to echo. They will repeat a couple more times with a delay after you use them, giving you more empowered attacks. Use it for the druid's animal form Warcries, or on the warrior for a nice power boost. Grounding Shocks causes monsters you shock to turn into living Tesla coils, arcing lightning to nearby enemies. You could use it with your empowered wings for an extra damage boost, but it's also great with any other shocking skill. Try it out with Lightning Spear. It obviously needed more AoE clear.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a whole
100%.
pile more,
Yeah,
but
agreed.
we'll leave those for you to discover. Now with a new class comes new Ascendancy classes. The Druid will have 2 options for now, with a third being released later. The first class is the Shaman. The Shaman channels nature's elemental fury and can harness rage as a spellcaster, unifying his animalistic and magical tendencies. By allocating Druidic Champion, you gain spell damage the angrier you are, and with Furious Wellspring, you generate rage continuously and can spend it to empower your spells. With the knowledge of the Asmerian Magi, the Shaman can harness untapped power from runes and idols. After allocating Wisdom of the Magi, you will notice that all runes and idols have extra mods only available to the Shaman. These new mods unlock countless new possibilities for enhancing your build. You can also allocate Bringer of the Apocalypse, allowing you to become a walking natural disaster. After dealing enough elemental damage, storms of all elements rain around you, destroying all who would face nature's fury.
Jesus,
there are other
is this
abilities.
Me? Oh, this is me. YouTube's like exploding. Is it my interwebs? Interwebs, no. 1619.
Here you are. and with Furious Wellspring, you generate
Sorry about that.
fury. There are other abilities for the Shaman, but I'll just show a few from each class
Come on.
for now. The other Druid Ascendancy is the Oracle. The Oracle perfected the power of foresight and utilizes this in combat to gain massive advantage. When taking Fateful Vision, you will see visions of your future self using specific skills. If you decide to follow this path by using the skill yourself, it will do significantly more damage.
I'm gonna try it like that.
And with Converging Paths, at a critical moment in battle when a monster is vulnerable to freeze,
But you don't have to position yourself where the vision was. You just have to do the skill. Okay.
stun or electrocution, the Oracle can use Moment of Vulnerability to see a vision of the enemy's future and then merge it with the current timeline, allowing him to deal damage to both.
Oh, interesting.
And one of my favorites, when you first become an Oracle, you'll notice over 130 new extra passives appear in the Druid section of the tree. By allocating the Unseen Path, you use your power of foresight to learn from alternate futures and gain skills that would otherwise be unavailable to you. For example, self-sacrificing allows you to be able to summon more minions by reducing the spirit costs, with the trade-off of making your reservation skills cost more spirit. Or Corruption Endures, which allows Oracles to have a small chance to avoid death. Both the Druid Ascendancies offer interesting and unique ways to gain modifiers that no other classes can get, so we're expecting a huge variety of build possibilities from these. Now there are unique talismans for the Druid to use as well. We won't spoil all of them, but this one was particularly cool. Fury of the King turns your bear form into a fire demon, converting most of your damage to fire. As a demon, you can also use Molten Crash,
You're Diablo.
a jumping slam attack that leaves fissures around you.
You can become Diablo.
This unique also continuously grants glory, allowing you to use your ultimate abilities more easily. Now, of course, the Druid isn't the only thing we're adding to 040. We still have a bunch more to show. With every new release, we create a new league with new mechanics, new pinnacle bosses, and with a new story to tell. And this time is no exception. So let's roll the trailer for the Fate of the Vaal.
The Fate of the
palace
Vaal.
of Queen Atziri.
Atziri's the
It is
horny
a
queen,
ruin,
right?
But in the dark, machines still churn. The temple has many functions, and with it, a chance to save the Vaal.
So it's
A
make your own
gateway
roguelike?
through time. Travel into the past, again and again. Alter the temple, uncover its secrets. You will be rewarded for your sacrifice. And somewhere in the deepest chamber, my queen awaits. I beg of you, hear me! The beast cannot give you what you desire.
You may have studied it, Doriani, but you do not know it like I do. It adores me.
She's having sex with the
Come
beast.
now, give unto me your desire. At last, fulfill my soul.
Holy crap.
Hi,
These
I'm
guys
Mark
cook
Roberts,
every
Game
time.
Director on Path of Exile. In the Fate of the Vaal League, you will find remnants of the ancient Vaal civilization scattered throughout Rayclast. They seem to attract nearby creatures and affect them strangely. After killing them, the remnant appears to gain some amount of power, but not enough to fully activate it. It seems you will need to find 5 more of these arcane devices, and sacrifice the monsters you find there to fully activate one. But things don't always go to plan. These devices are old, and sometimes infected by corruption. Twisted versions of ancient Vaal may emerge, and sometimes even stronger foes. On fully activating one of the devices, you finally discover its true purpose. a portal opens and takes you deep underground to a lost temple, once the home of Atziri, Queen of the Vaal. What treasures could still be inside? I think you're gonna want to find out. In front of the entrance is a console of some kind, and on activating it, you can see a map of the temple. Atziri's personal chambers are on the far side, but how could anyone get there? There are disconnected rooms, and the layout doesn't seem to make sense. And that's when you realize the purpose of the ancient devices scattered through Rayclast. The temple is powered by sacrifice, and this energy can be used to modify the very structure of the temple itself. Each time you run the temple, you will be given 6 rooms that you can place, allowing you to craft your own dungeon to explore. Place paths to link up the dungeon, and place rooms beside them full of precious loot. After you are happy with your choices, open the temple and discover the results of your efforts. Each room contains different challenges along with its rewards. On entering a room, the doors will slam shut behind you and you will need to face the encounter.
GGG did just tell people, okay, so you're not happy with the way we made our maps? Well, make them yourself then! That's what they did. They're like, why don't you make your own damn maps and see how you like it? You like the way we did our maps? You go ahead and you make them then. That's what you get.
Within.
Oh,
but choose wisely. It's important where you place the rooms to get maximum returns. For example, when placing a commander, you could just place it anywhere along an existing path, but a much better strategy is to place it next to a garrison of troops for him to command. With better leadership, the garrison will level up, making the monsters harder, but also more rewarding.
Okay.
Different rooms have different requirements for leveling up. For example, if you want to fully level up a smithy, you will need to supply it with golems from an adjacent golem works, and hook up a generator to the power network to supply it with power. After doing so, the golems will be powered up, making them much more dangerous. You don't need to memorize what interacts with what. When selecting a room, you will be shown the locations that will make other rooms level up, and exactly what effect it will have on the temple.
Okay, that's cool.
After running the temple, a few of the rooms will destabilize and be removed. It will be up to you to rebuild the temple, adding 6 more rooms each time you come back, making the temple larger and larger and larger. So, that's the basic functionality of the temple, but there is a lot more.
Yeah, there
Once
always
Doriani
is.
finds out about your travels to Leraval, he will attempt to persuade you to take on a new mission. The temple entrance contains a prototype of the time portal device. It will be able to take you back in time, but only to one specific point, right before Atziri triggered the cataclysm that destroyed the Vaal. He requests that you go back and attempt to stop Atziri to prevent the Vaal from ever being destroyed.
Of course, that can't happen. Actually, it would be interesting if it could. What if we just stopped the Vaal from dying?
Atziri is on the far side of the temple, so you will need to expand the temple significantly to get to her. And even worse, her chambers can only be unlocked by a room that isn't currently accessible to you. In order to deal with that, you are going to need to visit the architect of the temple. To get to him, you will need to place path rooms, but while doing so, you will probably want to exploit some of the Vaal technology only available in the past. Once you can travel into the past, a whole new set of rooms are available to you, and they have some pretty insane rewards. At level 1, the corruption chamber can be used to corrupt a single item. But placing it next to a thaumaturge to run the place, and a sacrificial chamber to provide soul energy, you'll be able to level it up. And it's worth it. Because once you get the room to level 3, there are some very nice rewards to be had. In a level 3 corruption chamber, you will find this mysterious device. It has a slot to place an item, and it only accepts items that are already corrupted. what will happen to them? Well, normally once an item is corrupted, you can't modify it any further. But this device allows you to corrupt your item a second time, adding another enchantment. This has the capability to craft some very powerful items indeed. But be warned, the Vaal are all...
This is some crazy levels of RNG. Like, corrupting an item is already RNG as balls. Now you're going to corrupt it twice. And the worst part is none of these things you can't take it back. This is we're reaching Korean levels of like, let's take this bitch to plus 15 and spend our life savings on it, except there's no actual monetization included, but you guys get the point. It's more like the aspect that in previous Korean games, there was like a chance that you can upgrade this to plus 15 or it can fucking break. And that's kind of like where we're getting.
About taking risks in the pursuit of power. There is a 50% chance that the item will be destroyed.
I love how I said that in Korean games, the items break, and then it's like there's a 50% your item gets broken. Yeah. Yo, this is great. You get nothing. Fuck you.
Each room has its own interesting mechanics and rewards when it levels up. Many of them contain bosses to fight, special drops, and in many cases, new crafting opportunities.
Gem corruptor.
For example, a level 3 alchemy lab has a nasty Vaal construct to fight, but if you can defeat it, you can find new corrupted soul cores. Like Guatalitzi's Thesis, which on boots allows you to sacrifice your life to run faster. Or Sita Qualotl's Thesis, which on gloves will revive one of your minions whenever an offering expires. Get a sacrificial chamber to level 3, and you will need to face a highborn priest of sacrifice. Defeat him to be able to further corrupt a Vaal unique, modifying it in unpredictable ways. One of the mods of this unique will be removed and replaced with another random mod. For example, this Soul Mantle. It gives you an additional totem, but lowers your totem's life and curses you when they die. By using the machine, this could result in a terrible item if you remove the good mod, but also some amazing items if you replace the downside.
It's time to
now,
gamble.
One extra thing to mention about these Vaal crafting machines. You don't have to take the items you want to craft into the temple. If you don't have the item you want to craft with you at the time, then clicking this button will allow you to create a currency item instead, allowing you to do the craft later or trade it if you want.
Oh, okay.
Now there are all sorts of interesting rooms you can find in the temple, but the last one I want to show you today is the Flesh Surgeon. A Vaal Flesh Surgeon can be leveled up by placing him next to a high-level synth flesh lab. But be careful. The Flesh Surgeon has some rather unpleasant experiments in his personal lab. Afterwards, you might notice the surgery table just sitting there. The Vaal are great at crafting items. Why not do some crafting on yourself? After laying down, you'll be asked which limb you'd like to replace. Left arm, perhaps your right leg. Each limb can get a different set of random bonuses, so choose wisely. After getting up from the table, try out your new limb. It seems to work fine, and even perform better than your normal one. Now, there is just one thing with replacing body
Cyberpunk
parts. If you die and are resurrected, your body will return to its natural state. You might need to return to the Vaal Surgeons if you want another robot arm, and maybe get a better one next time. Some rooms, like the Commander, can give you a new type of reward. medallions that can be used to manipulate the temple in other ways.
Give me a second. Were you actually going to put the shocker on his dog now? No. Okay, I'm back.
Using a Quippalatal's medallion will allow you to artificially boost a room, even if it doesn't meet the normal requirements to level up. And a Huatalotli's medallion will stop rooms from destabilizing when you complete a temple, allowing you to guarantee getting a reward a second time. Great if you want to stock up on double corrupts. Now, with all that aside, time to face the Architect, and you will be in for a fight. Once defeated, you will find another console that can be used to modify the temple. But this one is special. It allows you to place new types of rooms with specific rewards. There are rooms with specific uniques, special runes, and currency. But also a few other, more niche crafting experiments.
See, the cool thing about this is that he says rooms with specific uniques. So that means targeted farming. The more you give me targeted stuff, I'm way more into that than like the, hey, let's gamble vol twice, just double vol your item and hope that it doesn't explode. That I'm not into. But like deterministic stuff, I'm all for more determinism, less RNG.
Like this one, that can extract the socket balls back out of an item at the cost of destroying it.
That's also cool.
Now, something really important is every league we release a significant amount of content for the in-game. In order to make sure that the Fate of the Veil works well for late-game players, we've added many mechanics to make sure that you can scale the difficulty and rewards to match. Getting some rooms to level 3 adds extra mods to the entire dungeon, and these stack with each other. So in endgame, when you can get some really big temples, you can generate a challenge that can even match the strongest of characters. We also start to introduce ways to store up energy for the temple, allowing you to save up many runs so you can do them later at your leisure, and not interrupt your mapping too often. Now in each league, it's important that we have a new pinnacle boss to test your character's might. In the Fate of the Veil, you will get to face Adziri, while she was at the peak of her power. One of the rewards you will gain by defeating the Architect is the ability to place the Royal Access Chamber. Once connected to your temple, you can visit it to finally reach the Queen of the Veil herself. This fight takes place at a critical moment in history, right as Zeri communes with the beast's power and takes her true, corrupted form. Now, we are not going to show you the whole fight, but we will tempt you with one of the rewards. This is Zeri's rule. This staff gives additional levels to all of your corrupted gems and lets you trade life for extra damage. But in addition to that, while using the staff, mirrors of refraction will constantly appear on the battlefield. Any projectile you fire at these will split into a nova, and they can chain from one to the other.
Jesus.
So, that's the fate of the Val League. But we are also bringing the previous league, Rise of the Abyssal, into the core game, along with a few changes. Now, for those of you who haven't seen what happens when a league is over, it's important to understand that you will not be seeing abysses in every area anymore. Rise of the Abyssal is now one of the league mechanics that can show up randomly in endgame. If you want to specialize in running abysses, there is now a tablet that will allow you to add them to any map you run. You can also craft the tablet to add abyss-specific mods to enhance how they function. Now that Abyss is core, it also needs its own Atlas tree. You can gain your first points by completing an Abyss. But there are more available for doing depths and killing certain bosses. And there are a bunch of different options. You might just want more monsters and bosses. But you can also make finishing an Abyss have a chance to overrun a nearby map with the Abyssal. Or make your Waystone modifiers also apply to Abyssal depths. You could specialize in the interaction with other leagues, or specialize in a specific Abyssal faction. One of the important elements that we have heard loud and clear is that needing to do Abyss crafting on Waystones is quite annoying. So, we have removed that. In fact, we have removed instilling from Waystones as well. This mechanic felt mandatory on maps because it boosted the value of all other content, but it was both annoying to do and resulted in a lot of visual clutter.
Jesus.
Instead, we are bringing back some of that power on tablets, which you don't need to craft nearly as often, since they last for 10 maps each. Once you defeat the Arbiter of Ash, you will be able to upgrade tablets to a rare with 4 mods using regular currency. Even this isn't enough to fully bring back the power you could have gotten from instilling, so we have also buffed the bonuses that tablets give. Going forward, we're not going to be adding any more crafting directly to Waystones outside of the basic currency, because it adds too much micromanagement.
Yes, agreed.
But on that note, Fate of the Val does bring the ability to corrupt your tablets, hoping to get one of many different random outcomes. Now, with regard to Delirium Fog, even though you shouldn't have to have it on every map anymore, we still did want to make it less visually annoying. Delirium Fog has been toned down significantly,
Thank God.
so you won't feel like you're just playing in a sea of grey. Another big source of problems in the endgame is the feeling of getting overwhelmed with monsters.
Yes.
In 031, we reduced the number of monsters in early endgame in order to help with this, but still scaled up the number of monsters to previous levels by the time you got to tier 15. Well, after letting this simmer for a while, we are still getting this kind of feedback. So we are no longer going to scale up the number of monsters you go as you get deeper into the endgame. Instead, we are scaling up the difficulty and rewards by the same amount. So to be clear, instead of increasing the number of monsters by 40%, they will instead drop 40% more items, grant 40% more experience, and have 40% more life, in addition to all the normal scaling they get due to being higher level. This only applies to regular monsters, not bosses. We have...
I'm like... Assuming that you balance the builds properly, this would be great. That's a big-ass assumption.
Also reduce the speed modifiers that monsters can get sometimes, which also helps a lot with this. Now, we did have a large amount of content for endgame planned for 040, but unfortunately we just didn't get time to finish it. The scope was a bit too large, and so we'll need to wait until 050 for that. But rest assured, there will be a ton of upgrades for the existing leagues, as well as new pinnacle bosses, and a significant overhaul to the Atlas passive tree coming soon. Now, another problem that becomes a much bigger issue in the endgame is game performance. And we have done a lot of work here. The primary issue is CPU load. And to address that, a lot of things have been optimized. And we have done a lot of work to take advantage of more of your CPU cores. You should see frame rates of at least 25% higher. And a lot less bad frame spikes during gameplay. It does make quite a big difference, especially on consoles. A lot more work in this area is ongoing, and you will continue to see performance improvements over the next few months. Of course, another important area is game balance, and we have made a lot of changes.
Okay!
Now, most of these we will save for the patch notes, but I'll do a quick summary of some of the numbers. As well as adding 11 new unique items, we have rebalanced dozens of others that are not currently used very often. We've also done a pass over lineage supports. 21 of them have been rebalanced, as well as adding 9 more. Alongside the 2 new druid ascendancies, we have made balance changes to almost all the others, with some of them getting a grander rebalance, such as the Smith of Katava. Alongside the 20 plus new druid skills, we've also rebalanced 90 other active skills across all the different classes. And to top it all off, there are also over 250 new passive skills added to the passive tree.
Jesus Christ.
These changes should go a long way to increase the viability of many more skills, uniques, and overall build variety that can tackle our most challenging content. Next up, we're going to be talking about our new supporter packs. Today, we're launching 2 new series of supporter packs, the Precursor and Kalgurin packs. Each tier contains the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power
That's a mighty fine hat, I said.
in any way.
That's a really good looking hat,
The Precursor
sir.
series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. First up, the Marble Statue Character Effect. Once you finally stay still for a moment, a podium rises up out of the ground to immortalize you, turning your skin to marble. When you next move, the stone crumbles around you. The Precursors had mastery over gravity manipulation. So too can you, now with the Gravity Well portal. Witness the power of its pull as you approach it. Draw in enemies with your own gravitational pull with the Awakened Precursor armor set. The Precursors designed and built many mysterious ancient beings. This one used to serve as a scout that would patrol and tase intruders. Why salvage gear yourself when the Master of the Forge can do it for you? Molten gold spills out as the Forge Master breaks down your items. The Relic of the Precursor's map device is a mysterious machine that sits atop ancient colossal statues. It keeps track of the number of charges consumed on your Precursor tablets used in the device. The Kalgurin pack series also contains 6 exclusive microtransactions.
The helmet
The
also
Kalgurins had astounding skill in
covers your
astronomy,
face.
being able to track cosmic events with absolute precision. Harnessing that skill, with the Astronomer's level up effect equipped, you too can now see exactly how long it took you to level up as it outputs the time in chat. The time taken to reach your last 3 levels is also displayed on the item, so you can link it when you have a time you're proud of. Crush unique enemies by unleashing the wrath of the lost Kalgurin fleet, led formerly by Captain Heartland himself. A Kalgurin seafarer needs armor fit for the treacherous seas of Rayclast.
I wonder if you can hide the
This set
mask.
has you covered with the classic tricorn and, of course, a peg leg. The Lost Treasure weapon skins top off your appearance of a true raider of the seas. These gilded weapons can be applied to wands, 2-hand maces, and shields.
That's a mighty fine looking
After a long day of plundering loot, retreat to the Kraken's Cove hideout. a home of some of the most deadly, ocean-dwelling creatures in Raidclast. Many ships have met their demise here. What better to accompany you in Kraken's Cove than a kraken itself? Replace your stash with a dormant kraken, waiting for its prey. As you approach, it will awaken and terrify both you and any guests in your hideout. Alongside this, an extra stash skin item will be granted to you, and when placed, will automatically open to any stash tab set with the currency affinity, to help having to navigate through your tabs. Additionally, any microtransactions from these supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 1.
Oh, Jesus, that is an abrupt ending. What the crap?
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers.
That was one hell of an abrupt ending.
Additionally,
so that is very, very interesting. I like a lot of the things they're saying. Mostly I'm just concerned about, again, endgame balance, because I already know I'm going to have fun during the campaign. It's just mostly whether or not I'm going to enjoy myself when we actually get to like tier 15 maps and stuff like that. I like that they're reducing pack sizes, because I know that for a lot of players, they want to just like, no, I want to explode screen loads of monsters. I prefer having the back and forth of like fighting really strong monsters and, you know, just like, I like the physicality. As a matter of fact, I'm hoping that we could get better blocking, because like when you get to the end of the game, most people are just using passive blocking. At least that's the way that it was in previous leagues. Whenever I look up the best players, stuff like that, they're mostly just like stacking up block. They're not really manually blocking. I want that type of visceral combat of like, no, I want to go in there, block, slam, bash, block, slam, bash. That's the type of stuff that I like. And that's the type of stuff that you can do in PoE during the campaign. But when the campaign is done, like that is over, usually, that playstyle. So, yeah. But, yeah, I'm excited. We're going to be checking this out when it comes out. I think it's on the 12th, right? It comes out on the 12th. So when it comes out, we're going to be playing the crap out of this. So, yeah. But for now, that's going to be it for today's stream. My kids are home. I got to go get ready to take my kid to jiu-jitsu, all of that good stuff. And thank you all very much for hanging out with me. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe, bell notification icon, all that jazz. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong. Stay safe. Peace out, team.